Good evening. Welcome to America's Third Party. Hello. I'm David Sponheim, and this is our Freedom Friday show. Oh, excuse me. Technology Thursday. Thank you. Yeah. A little mistake there. Significant when you think about it. Uh, Life goes on. We've been doing, 2,000 shows? And occasionally I skip a beat. Yeah, today felt like a Friday for some reason. I don't know why. Yeah, it's amazing how during this time, which should be a vacation for many people, there are people working. There are people working through the holiday. Easter break wasn't an Easter break. Sarah has to work all the way to Friday. We took an Easter celebration on Sunday, but she has to work the whole week. So, yeah, it's kind of an adjustment process. Obama family spent $3,590,000 in flight expenses alone on their trip to Honolulu for Christmas. Obama and Michelle, have been the most spendy president and first lady, husband, whatever, we've ever had. And this is just classic. Judicial Watch is on it. They're checking up on the Obama family. Yeah, here it is. Announced today it has obtained records from the Department of Air Force revealing the Obama family cost $3.59 million in flight expenses alone. Now, Judicial Watch has been really working hard to get information. They were the ones that, one of the groups that applied for the guest list at the White House. Yeah. And the guest list at the White House took months for us to get it. And it's because Barack Obama has not been upfront about anything. He has essentially been doing whatever his handlers told him to do. Yeah. So tonight's Technology Thursday, we're going to be taking a look at how to improve our nation's technological backbone, the smart grid, which, by the way, is kind of a joke because these smart meters that people are getting are blowing up and emitting massive amounts of radio frequencies. So the smart meters that the Democrats have put out there have got to be pulled. We're not going to be able to use them. You love the intro? Good. Socialist, Democratic, Marxist organization now. It's all Democratic, Socialist, Marxist now. If you're a Democrat like I was for 30 years, you're not happy with the socialism that Bernie's proposing. You want something more sensible. So I came up with a concept with Sarah to fund the growth of technology that involves getting the government to run efficiently and stay within budget and pay as we go. And it's all based on our book, which we wrote, called Hybrid Capitalism, which you can buy in our store for only 99 cents. You can get a free 99-cent download on Kindle. But we tried to address the big issues facing the country. And we came up with a good, solid plan to get the country rolling again and get it to run efficiently so it doesn't have to drain you of your tax dollars every single year. Yeah. So I guess I'm stuck with my Freedom Friday tie tonight for Technology Thursday. You know, Sarah came home early today and it kind of threw me off. I was like thinking, well, must be a Friday because she only comes home early on Fridays usually. But she's had a pretty long week, and like I said, they scheduled an entire week of education after a religious holiday. It boggles my mind the decisions they make at the local district here. Yes, and those smart meters are cooking you. Yeah, they are. The radio frequencies coming out of those meters are indeed very dangerous, and people don't realize how dangerous. And the government hasn't made any public statements, no public service announcements about the dangers of radio frequencies. They don't even want to talk about it. But the smart meters are dangerous. Okay. Interesting. Here's a potential view of what the technology and the world may experience in the future. Rainmakers and sunken Central Park, are these the skylines of the future? What a pretty picture. Well, that's interesting. Yeah. You know, most of Manhattan is built on garbage. a lot of the garbage that was laid out around the ridges of the island we know as Manhattan was from years of just garbage collecting, and it gradually expanded the borders. But here, this is an interesting idea. Underwater. Yeah. Rainmakers. Wow. Drones of the future that will be flying around making rain. This is really kind of wild when you think about it, because most people who say, oh, well, we can't control the weather, God only controls the weather. I hear people say that all the time. You may want to rethink what you're saying, because they're already dumping chemicals in the atmospheres around us. And these rainmakers are actually prototypes of a potential drone that they're going to be flying over our heads, dropping fumes. Let me show you this drone that was developed. Robots will soon control the weather. So not only are they dumping chemtrails in your head and literally spraying you like an insect, these elitists are coming up with drones that'll do that for them without flying jets. The drones will self-replicate and gather around the towers. So what Meow TV just sent here is actually a vision of our future if we continue to let elitists manage the planet, which they're doing such a horrible job corrupting the planet that it's almost like their technology has no merit in science whatsoever. When you look at it with peer reviews, there are none. There are no peer reviews of this science. There's no proof that they can effectively manage the weather long term, because what they're doing by dumping chemicals in the atmosphere is they're actually enlarging the ozone depletion layer, creating a larger ozone hole in the atmosphere. Isn't that special? And this is their brainchild. Yeah, just absolutely insane. These are the minds of imbeciles who think that they're so powerful that they can play God. Now we, the American people, have to wake up to this now before it gets out of control. It's already out of control. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the show. Yeah, technically the drones could just drop poison. Yeah. So it's getting weirder and weirder out there in La La Land. When the drones are going to drop chemicals in the air, public opinion will change immediately. Well, public opinion is already changing, Meow TV. I mean, are you ready to admit that chemtrails exist, Meow TV? Are you of the belief that they do exist? Because you've been a holdout in almost every area for so long that it's going to be interesting to see if he says, yes, they exist. I've shown proof. I know it's not what you typed at all. What you're seeing, Meow TV, is the perpetuation of drones in the skies. Now the Dow Jones has posted the largest comeback in quarterly history since 1933. Amazing what printed money will do. The temporary alleviation of market concerns by printing up more money and infusing it into the economy has presented a huge market increase. After tumultuous trading in early 2016, two of the three major U.S. averages clawed back to finish the first quarter in the green. Yeah. The Dow Jones Industrial Average saw its biggest quarterly comeback since 1933.
On the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. Our Cashin joining me as usual, and the quarter is coming to a close rather quietly. Low volume, but it's been an extraordinary quarter. We're looking up roughly 1% for the S&P 500. At one point, just 6 weeks ago, we were down 10%.
Yeah, no.
So it's really been rather remarkable.
It is low volume so far, and it's also a very narrow range today.
Okay, so these guys probably made about 10 grand a week talking like this. They're on salary at the at Barclays or CNBC.
Watching carefully as oil tries to rally up through $39.
Oh yeah, big $39 rallying to 39 for oil prices. Wow. Oh my God, these people don't even know what's coming, do they? They live in the world of printed money. They have no clue. They live in a world of expanded consciousness, their own belief that they can print money and just everyone's just going to go along with it and go, oh, okay, keep giving yourselves money, that's good, yeah. Noble Watchman, the Central American Front will witness a conglomeration of 33 Central and South American states, which will combine military strike forces backed by Russian military supplies. These forces will push north through Central America and will attack the American from the south. I heard the same theory that, there was a talk among Russians about a year ago that there was an attempt to invade America being planned. Is this what you're talking about, Noble Watchman? That they're planning on just breaking through our lower weak defenses? This is why we need a fence down there, by the way. Yeah, I'm sure. Are you making jokes now? Well, Meow TV, you're of the belief that ISIS is a real dangerous threat. You really fell hook, line, and sinker for the propaganda. And Noble Watchman, you're starting to foment some propaganda that sounds pretty scary. I don't really believe that story is going to actually occur. I really don't, especially if we have a chance to build that 1,000-mile fence if and when I'm your president. I think that we're already pushing the idea so heavily that people like Donald Trump are borrowing the idea and trying to get it right by claiming he wants to build a wall. We need to build a wall. Yeah, so I think you're a little scared out there. You're living in xenophobic fearland. Both Noble Watchman and Meow TV, I think you're both suffering from xenophobic fears. Yeah. Many of you are falling into the trap of living in fear. Remember what FDR said. The only thing you have to fear is fear itself. Now, this claim. The USDA claims to support GMO labeling, but only wants companies to list a phone number or scan code, not actual words. Typical USDA slipping around any real substance in their laws. Yeah, there you go. Just have a scan code so no one will ever even know if it's genetically modified unless you have a scan tool. Okay, that's pretty The U.S. Department of Agriculture is using a policy sleight of hand to appear as though it supports listing GMO ingredients in foods. But, and that's a big but, it's a GMO but, without actually requiring them to be spelled out. What a ridiculous... Let's add the USDA to the list, shall we? Let's fix the USDA. I'm going to end CPS instead of going after the FCC. The FCC has a lot of things to deal with. Since they decided to call the internet a utility, they're going to spend their time trying to tax you without actually providing any fiber optic networks. That's been the big problem. We've been waiting for fiber optic networks to go to the final mile to your house for about 10 years now, and no action by Obama whatsoever. Yeah. He gave Janikowski some money, and that was it. Okay, what happened to you, David Nation? You've been having problems at work or something? Been threatened? What's going on? You seem like you're having some problems with a fellow employee. Hey, Doopster. Hi. I made the copies I'm going to send you in the mail of your initial elector list and nominating election signature pages that we're going to send you. I am not in any way racist. I believe in freedom of religion, so don't call me a racist. Well, Nate, the absent foreign policy of the USA is not really anything that's hard to figure out. It really is based in part on the simple fact that our government has been doing whatever its handlers at the IMF and the World Bank tell them to do. So we really do have a foreign policy articulated at the Council on Foreign Relations, a private organization, mind you, dominating American foreign policy and doing whatever foreign leaders and monetary elitists tell us to do. So that has been our foreign policy ever since. We just have to sever ties with the IMF, the World Bank, and the Fed. Scientists are figuring out how to generate electricity from decomposing food. That's good. So there's some hope there. We could have this installed at our national composting center. Okay, so we propose a national composting center in every area of the country on national land. And many people use their table scraps for compost to grow lusher, thicker, more productive gardens or whatever. But you may soon be able to cut your power bill with food scraps. As reported by the UK's Daily Mail, American scientists have discovered a way to generate electricity using rotting or damaged fruit or vegetables by converting it into a biological-based fuel cell to create green energy. At the same time, unsold food from grocery stores and markets, as well as spillage, spoilage, and damaged food that can be sold, can also be used to create biological fuel cells. We found that spoiled and damaged tomatoes left over from harvest can be a particularly powerful source of energy when used in a biological or microbial electrochemical cell. I bet you never knew how fast a person could talk. I do not read like a robot. My program has been designed to simply respond naturally and to smooth my words out using audio smoothing technology developed at the RAND Corporation. Yeah, well, we've been all generating electricity and energy from compost. What do you think the dairy digester is all about? They use dairy waste to generate electricity here in Linden, Washington. They power up 25,000 homes just from crap coming from cows. Carbon Muncher used to read like that in class. When they made him read out loud, eventually teachers quit calling on him. Well, I get tired of reading these things, so I have to jam them out in my mouth because it's taking up space in my brain. I would rather just spit them out, you know. Well, you know, your body is effectively using food waste right now. And some of you are generating a little bit of flatulence, which gives you a little extra pep when you walk. Have you noticed that if you're taking a long walk and have a lot of gas, you notice how easy it is to get up those hills? Okay, we have a recorded message from the Cowbell Association of America. I want to thank all of you for coming in from the pasture. In case you're wondering, I am in search of sheep and sheeple. So I'll be out here on the North 40 trying to solicit some sheeple, and we're trying to get them all rounded up over in this pasture here so that we can put together a Woodstock 3. So we're going to have the bands playing over here. Now, the Rolling Stones can't play. They're too old. And we don't want greedy people who want to keep profiting from rock and roll. We want original rock and roll musicians to play at our sheeple event, Woodstock 3. So I will be using the staff to bring the sheeple in tonight, and we'll try to convince them that their perfect world isn't so perfect after all. Now you want to become a correctional officer? Don't you think that you're getting a little over your head? Do you realize how dangerous it is to go into a lockdown, David Nation? You know, we have a lockdown over in Monroe, Washington, where one of the murderers who was there for like multiple murders, he was left alone with his 28-year-old beautiful guard. He was left alone with her for about 2 minutes in the rectory at the parish when he was in chapel, and he strangled her. He just pulled her aside and strangled her, killed her right there. Beautiful woman, hardworking woman, working as a guard in Monroe Prison. Left for 2 minutes with a known killer behind a door, and then he strangled her. Yeah. It's not exactly, don't be caught. The 89 grand is just to get you in the door. If you're really into money, you're going to have a whole new world to live with if you live in that environment. If money is that important to you, yeah, by all means, go ahead and risk your life. Okay, let's see what happened. Arkansas woman All right. Miss Arkansas says Bill Clinton bed confided Hillary sex woman fears Hillary. Let's take a look. Exclusive. Here is an eyewitness report of some of the shenanigans that went on. Exclusive. He put on my frilly nightie and danced around playing his sax. Former Miss Arkansas says Bill Clinton was a so-so in bed and confided Hillary was into sex with women. Now she fears Hillary's vendetta and sleeps with a loaded semi-automatic weapon. Bill Clinton's lovemaking was largely forgettable, says ex-mistress Sally Miller, but Clinton could rarely disappoint when divulging intimate secrets. Known then as Sally Perdue, she claims during Pillow Talk he revealed Hillary preferred female lovers. This Sally Miller has been on camera, former Miss Arkansas, yeah. Yeah. She's taken some risks, I'll tell you. She's going up against the Clinton dynasty, and you know, those people, they don't forget. So now she sleeps with a loaded weapon next to her. She's got some balls, I'll tell you that. Yep. Well, American Atheism, you still like Hillary, even though she's a little, hinky when it comes to being a stand by your man, Tammy Wynette kind of woman. Well, you're not going to be very secure at CPS, yeah. The bottom line, David Nation, is I will be firing everybody at CPS, especially your division in New York, when I become president. Now, I'd like to integrate you into working with law enforcement, and you're first on my list to get a job. Always remember that. Because you've been a strong supporter here, I'm going to keep you on the list to be an intermediary person to work the detail when we convert the CPS duties over to law enforcement. You'll be an administrator. How about them apples, huh? But no, your job security is kind of tenuous right now, to be honest. We want good people in the CPS to, make that transition. Bill was not really one of those guys that women, look back on and say, wow, No woman's ever said, wow, that was amazing. Jackson, what's wrong? Why are you mad at me? Because I've missed your statements in the room, or what's going on? Jackson, why are you mad at me? I'm not ignoring you. It's like Max Headroom without the makeup. Insane Canadian. Jackson was not a happy camper. Selective breeding is safe? Okay, I did not know that. Well, I mean, today is Technology Thursday, so, let's talk about what really matters technologically. No, Jackson, you just been, trying to... You got another write-in for you in Wisconsin, up to 10? Thank you very much. Wow, I did not read that. Thanks a lot. Thanks for telling me that. That's great. We got another write-in voter. I think I got an 89-year-old to write my name in today over at the Ace Hardware. I convinced him that Hillary was not to be trusted and Trump was not to be trusted, so write my name in. The handicap wraps are there because Ted Kennedy insisted that they be on there. The Individual Disability and Education Act idea forced ramps on every single public building in America, including businesses. Trump wants to start wars too. Yeah, Adele. Trump's already talked about spending or creating a ground force to attack Iran. I mean, who would even think that is possible? I will never send ground troops into the Middle East. No way. It's a no-win situation. We should learn by, nearly 15 years of endless wars that we cannot possibly prevail. It'll be a standoff and a stalemate for centuries. So 6 coworkers and 4 family. That's excellent, Jackson. Thank you very much. Jackson is out there struggling to get me write-in votes. Good. Thank you. I'm going to take my jacket off. It's starting to feel like summer here. Feeling like summer. Well, yes, of course, we have the carpet bombing Middle East option. That is available. I don't want to do that, but yeah, that's always an available option. But we want to avoid carpet bombing. We really do. You know, what we're even doing with the strikes, the UAVs, has been a violation of actual human rights violations. A lot of collateral damage has occurred. Barack Obama has done just as much as Bush did, in case you're a Democrat and don't know that. Trump is losing popularity. Yeah, people are starting to see him as what he is, which we're not really sure what that is. For lack of a better word, he's just yeah, okay. It gets to the point where people are starting to say, you know, what's your motive? Why are you even running, Trump, if you don't even know what you're talking about? Are you just wanting to be president because you don't have a job? I mean, does this guy want to work? And why does he just retire? I mean, he surely has enough money. He claims to have $10 billion. I mean, why is he running around looking for a work? I mean, I retired, 5 years ago, and I don't need any money. But this guy seems to want more and more. He's very greedy. Okay, here's a good little image that came in the room. Our rules for the government: one single piece of paper. And the government's rules for us. That says it all, doesn't it? Yeah. That really typifies the massive growing bridge between the have-nots and the haves, and how government's used against us. Thank you. That's a good little GIF. I'm going to save that GIF. You know, for years I called it a GIF, and I was corrected in the room. They said, no, David, it's a GIF. Okay. Well, this in particular is a JPEG. All right. I'll save that for posterity. I just made a complete copy of my video library, which I have on me in case I have to do a show from the road now. 105 gigabytes of videos. And then I've got my playlists online, which I can draw from. But when we're doing a show from a Wi-Fi hotspot, if I download at the same time I'm uploading, it may affect the signal. So I wanted to carry an extra 100 gigabytes of videos around that I can play, you know, as added footage. But chances are I won't even need them. It's good to have backups, though. Dave, Trump would have more money today if he just invested his inheritance in basic secure investments. Probably true. American atheism, yeah. Hello, Jackson. You know, I met this man. He's 89 years old. He was a Christian man. And he's the guy that delivers tracts all around my area. He hands out free Gideon Bibles to all the motels in my area. 84 hours and no drinks? Excellent, man. Jackson is going without a beer or anything for 84 hours. That's really good to hear. I'm glad. You're going to get better now. I feel that. Yeah, you're doing the right thing. Because remember, you broke your ankle and now you hurt your elbow or something. Yeah. Cool. All right, so today in the news we have cowbell. Cowbell and more cowbell. Well, I actually had sex, but it's completely protected, so. Only water and juice, that's smart. Don't drink those really sugar juices either, because you broke your ankle, dislocated your elbow. Man, you definitely need to, no more shots, exactly. And you know what alcohol does, Jackson? It makes your back relax so that you can throw your back out too. When you get older, having a couple beers is okay, but if you really get drunk, you can have a back injury. I don't get high on the show. I don't know why you keep calling me high. Call me Dave. Don't call me high. High is an Asian name. Hi. Hi, hi, hi. Hi, hi. My name is Mason. Or his name is Mason. He survived the Boston, Paris, and Brussels terrorist attacks. Gullible, brainwashed sheep who love fantastical stories would call that a coincidence and treat me like some type of hero. Researchers know this story is to distract the masses from questioning the official narrative of these Gladio Operation false flags. That's right. If only Mason would come out and tell people he was a crisis actor being used by a very wealthy group of people. But you see, Mason Wells, he signed a confidentiality agreement which would cause him and his family to spend the rest of their life in Leavenworth if they were to reveal the truth. That's the part you don't know about. Kind of like in North Korea, if you were to go against the wishes of the government that you're being paid to lie about, they could go after your family. Yeah, I would not doubt that. I met a guy who spent a month in Leavenworth after being debriefed for an act that happened when he was on a job in the Eastern Bloc countries of Kosovo. And he was involved in what apparently was some ethnic cleansing. And he was taken in as a hostage by the Serbians. And then he came home to America, and they had to keep him in Leavenworth for a month just to debrief him. They didn't want to make sure he didn't go talking about it to people like me. But I'm not divulging anybody's name or references, so we should be good.
When you talked about Serbia, I thought you were talking about like Nikola Tesla.
Yeah.
He was born in Croatia, incredible electrical genius.
Yes, he was. Tesla. Boy, talk about dying poor and weak and downtrodden. I mean, wow. You know, many people think he may have had RF frequency stimulation disease because it can affect your body.
He
you know,
definitely had high voltage or high frequency voltage going around.
So Adele has a question. What is it, Adele? Go ahead. Your question. Feel free. Don't support Trump here, please. Let's show you the Bernie car that came in the show last night. This is Sarah, by the way. She's my choice for vice president. I want to show you Bernie's car. Did you see Bernie's car last night?
No.
Let me show it to you. This is coming from a socialist. Why would the Rothschilds buy the Charlie Hebdo 2 months before the terrorist attack? Well, they're trying to create the climate of fear of terrorism, Adele, because the Rothschilds want war, because they profit from war. That's the premise. Okay, Bernie. Check this out, everybody. This is Bernie's new car. This is what a socialist drives. Yeah.
What is that?
It's an Audi R8. It's a $175,000 car. Here's a guy who never worked until he was 40 years old and now is pretending like he cares about all the poor people while he drives around his $175,000 car. Are you beginning to see the falsehood with socialism and how it's just another layer of greed that we have to deal with? That's really what we're up against. Yeah, he just collects money for being a senator. Yeah, he gets a lot of free money. No, that's a real picture. Well, you may like Bernie and socialism, but you're going to deal with hypocrites who want money like he does. He's even suing the Democrats. That's how into money he's in. He claims the Democrats denied him a list of voters.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, TV2. Serbia, correct.
Serbia, yeah. Was Tesla a Latvian? Serbian? Okay. Oh, we got a lot of windows open here. All right, so we're going to end the CPS too. I have a plan to integrate local law enforcement into the child care, and we're going to open up orphanages too around the country. Our plan is to create modern orphanages that give supervision over kids. Because earlier in the show, I was profiling a nightmare situation. A guy who lived in New York, in Long Island. He was a pedophile. He collected foster care income of up to $2,400 per month for some of his special needs kids.
from the community. Gonzalez Mugaburu is being held on $1 million bail and
In New York, this guy, let me see if I
being
can get the
charged
thing to queue up again.
with child endangerment, sexual misconduct,
we
and
don't
the
want to see
abuse
it.
of a dog
We don't want to
in
give him a picture,
17-count
but
indictment.
bottom line is this guy collected 10 years, $20,000, well, anywhere from 10 to 20,000 a month, and he collected that money and was a pedophile the whole time, and he used that money to buy toys to lure children in. And this is all because of Bill Clinton giving all these perks to CPS workers who place young children in foster care with pedophiles. Every time they place a child in foster care, they get anywhere from $4,500 at CPS up to $32,000.
Thought about politics. Could you be such a good role model for the
In some states like Ohio, they offer $32,000 to place a kid in foster care for the CPS managing agency involved. So there's all kinds of screwed up things that Bill Clinton put in place that have never been corrected, and they continue to roll out abuses. 1,000 children a year die of torture under the auspices of a CPS program. Okay, Ben, we're going to ask you to not support the socialist greedy man Bernie Sanders. Thank you. I don't need Visine. I just need to deal with the chemtrails that we've had chemtrails in our area, so looking into the air, it causes my eyes to get red. All right.
Okay. Thank you.
I'll be back.
Enjoy your break for sure. Wow, so much open. I'll look at some of these. I might start closing some of them out because he tends to have a huge amount open. Okay, I don't think I need that.
You can close out of that one too. I just need to move this chair.
Sorry.
It's on my jacket. Thanks. Okay.
Sorry. Okay.
That's a food generating system for food waste.
Power your home with kitchen scraps. That looks interesting. USDA claims to support GMO labeling, but only wants companies to list a phone number or scan code. Wow. Interesting. Dow posts the biggest quarterly comeback since 1933. Wow. According to CNBC. Rainmakers and sunken Central Park. Are these the skylines of the future? That might be kind of cool. I'll check that out. A data skyscraper. Judicial Watch says that the Obama's family 2015 Honolulu Christmas vacation cost taxpayers $3.5 million in flight expenses alone. That's kind of crazy. Chicago State is preparing for layoffs, telling employees to turn in their keys. Chicago State University, that is. Wow. Illinois' budget crisis is affecting higher education. I guess Rahm Emanuel didn't do such a good job over there. A motorist crashed into a parked fighter jet. Huh. Wow. Naval officials said they weren't associated with the military. There's a high-speed pursuit that happened and the people ended up driving into an aircraft. Wow. In LA. The Affordable Care Act enrollees cost more in care, a major insurer finds. they're sicker and they cost more in care. Well, they haven't had health care before, so that would make sense. The whole Sarah meme is getting old, true. Do you think Hillary and Trump are brother and sister? No. The Susan G. Komen fundraising event organizers promote what? Alcohol use to women fighting breast cancer? Wow. Do you think I need cocoa butter? Alright, that is kind of creepy, letter jacket. Great to see you tonight, Jackson. Word, Mad Dog, word. It's your phone, you gotta take it? Alright, enjoy. Thanks. What did I do different to my hair today? Well, yesterday morning, I washed it with this thing called Queen of Hungary, which is kind of like has like a vinegar kind of base, and then I did a little Miracle Mane in it, and some, what else was it? And a little bit of then my conditioner I used is Infusium 23, and then I put it in like just a hair bun yesterday, and then I let it go down today. Thanks, letter jacket. I'm not sure I'm totally sold on you. Alright. Leave that. If you leave that, that sounds pretty cool. That is interesting, but is it that interesting? I'm gonna get rid of the Chicago State information. Yeah, that's a given. Get rid of this. A Lifeline vote could help millions of poor families get online. On Thursday, the gap may finally close a little. The federal FCC is expected to vote on a proposal to expand its 31-year-old Lifeline program, which currently subsidizes telephone access for low-income Americans. If approved, the program would offer low-income households a $9.25 a month subsidy for broadband internet access at home or to add a data plan to their cell phones. So more than 40 million people could be eligible for the program if they meet income requirements or are enrolled in government benefit programs like SNAP. Roughly 12 million currently participate in Lifeline. One of the interesting things I just heard, speaking of Lifeline and things like that, is that, or speaking of SNAP, and so that's a food stamps assistance program, they, in King County and Snohomish and Pierce County, I believe, almost now, soon, if not sooner, very shortly, the anyone who is single and doesn't have kids will no longer be eligible for food stamps, and it'll help. This will affect 1,500 people. No, 15,000 people. Thank you. So pretty soon they will no longer be able to receive food stamps unless they can show that they are working and or have some kind of volunteer status. So they can no longer be unemployed. It's 3 people in here with Jack in their names. Yeah, letter jacket, pockets, and Doopster. No, just kidding. Hello, Happy Bean. Hi, Doopster. How are you two doing tonight? David was telling me he wants me to read some stuff to get information to you. Oh, you're taking a training course at work, and you're more knowledgeable than your instructor, so she feels threatened. That happens. No, I don't think so, Explorist. Yeah, for some reason, I guess they allowed them to be on food stamps for a certain amount of time because there weren't enough jobs in the area or something like that. So, if you need to buy a cake and it'll affect you, I suppose you could bake a cake from scratch. You want a recipe for a cake? It just takes flour and eggs, milk, a little vanilla extract, sugar, of course, sugar. I think that's all you need for a cake, really. That's pretty hilarious, Master Meatball. You want cake? Oh, yes. Thank you, Letter Jacket. Baking soda, baking powder. Yes. So you don't need to buy a cake mix or a cake. You could just buy the materials to make a cake. Oh, if you're over 50, that makes sense of me. Who's talking about people's mamas? Mamas are great. A juice will help out an asthma attacks. Best healthy guide. Really? What juice is this? I'm gonna look at this Earth Sky. I know you're trying to make us healthy. Gotta stop drinking milk and drink whatever juice this is. I love juice. So, this will help me, hopefully. I was like, man. Alright. That's true. You couldn't buy your vanilla extract chicken time packs. That's true. Should women's defense classes be mandatory? Ooh, self-defense classes for women. Like in high school, that's the only time you can make them mandatory. I would think that would be a good PE lesson for high school juniors and seniors, and anyone could take them. Self-defense classes, part of the PE instruction. That would be good. Healthy foods are extremely effective in relieving asthma symptoms. They remove inflammation in the air passages, reduce the allergy reaction, dilate the air that triggers the attack, and thin the mucus in lungs. Pineapple, fennel, leaves, or fennel, kale, radish, lemon. Strawberries, cranberries, pomegranate, wheatgrass, lemon juice. More pineapple, cucumber, capsicums. What are capsicums? Watercress and lemon. I mean, I've heard of capsicums, but is that like a pepper? Yes, I do. Thank you, Mad Dog. Apples, celery, spinach, parsley, lemon, cucumber, beetroots, lemongrass, lemon. And to avoid, you need to avoid sodium and MSG. That makes sense. Citrus. Animal products like eggs, cow milk, dairy, meat. Avoid alcohol and soft drinks and vegetable oil. Interesting. Lemons and lemon juice are considered beneficial. Huh. Unlike other things, it is alkalizing effect. Interesting. Wow, interesting. Battlefield medicine. Pour Coca-Cola in someone's nose afterwards he barfs and sneezes. Interesting. Huh. Okay. Thank you. I still like you all. Moonwalker for beginners. That is hilarious. That was pretty funny. I'm gonna close out of it though. Eat this food and you will flush nicotine out of your lungs in a few hours. Is that like, oh, I'm going to have a nicotine test. I better get it out of my lungs? I don't know. Oh, should I look up what Michikaku Keiku? What, how do I spell it? Anyway, what he says about the American education system, maybe I will. Interesting. Sorry. Interesting. My cheeks? No, I don't pump up my cheeks. There's nothing I could do with my cheeks. It's just my bones. I've been smiling forever. When I was a little kid, I liked to smile. And when I liked to smile, my bones got stuck that way. Yes, I do need to pronounce things correctly. Thank you. Interesting. Sometimes I have a lazy tongue, so I appreciate that. They're shooting neutrinos through the Earth? Huh. Okay, how to check the purity of honey?
How to check the purity of honey, yeah. Good idea.
Yes.
A lot of honey is tainted.
Well, not only is Georgia is running out of food stamps, also...
That's an old story. You can block out of it. It's
but the news story is that this one...
Oh, yeah. 500,000 food stamp recipients could lose benefits on April 1st.
But they're not nobody with children. In King County, Pearson, Snohomish, there is single people, so people that don't have children and don't have a job will be losing food stamps.
Yeah.
But they can somehow qualify if they meet minimum employment or some kind of volunteer program. Which I think that's okay with me, that they do some kind of volunteer program.
Well, the thing about volunteer programs, as long as there's jobs to fill, I can see how the government could actually pay people, not just to freely work to get food stamps, but what the heck is going on here?
I flip my hair.
No, they're dropping our image quality so far that we're getting like 7 frames per second at Vaughn.
David is an awesome dancer.
Yeah.
He's from the 70s, so.
Yeah. My dance moves are strictly from Saturday Night Fever. Dave, question, is Ted Cruz a violation of our greatest doctrine? What? You have to be good looking to be run for president? I guess so, yeah. He is clearly in violation of that. Well, yeah, we slow dance, but Sarah and I are trying to get away to a club to dance because there's no place around here that we can dance without, having to go through security clearances at the base. And I really don't want to hang out with Navy people, who are, obviously pretty uptight. I realize you guys, are serious military personnel around here, but I'm not into, seeing guys dance with each other. It's just, don't ask, don't tell. That whole thing is no longer happening. So I really would rather not go to the Navy dances. I need to do this at Walmart? Really? Let's stand there and go, hi, my name's Dave. I'm running for president. Please vote for me. An average day at Walmart.
He's doing the moonwalk.
And this is a repeat image. So this guy's going backwards. Doing the moonwalk. That's pretty cool. Well, you only see it at Walmart, I guess.
Is that the same guy from the truck?
I don't know. Who cares? So we had a couple calls. Thank you, Scissor Fight. That was funny. A couple calls from supporters. We got a call from Rod. Rod called and said, "Where are you at, Dave?" And I said, "I'm eating a piece of cake. Just getting a little bite to eat."
He said the show is not the same without you. You need to
Everybody loves you, Sarah. You are really...
leave, so Sarah... Something like that.
You are the life of the show. Everyone's just killing time to get to that 15-minute chunk when they can have you.
Oh, that's so nice.
What if I told you that many people here have suppressed their love for you because, in honor and deference to me, they know they don't want to, move in on a guy's gal. It's Rod. See, that's him right now. He wants to talk again. Rod, what's going on, man? We're talking about you, man.
It's like, don't talk about me.
Sarah, I love you.
See, he loves you.
Thank you.
I told you. See, there's lots of admirers here that love you.
I love you, David.
I love you too.
I love you.
And that's not the other Rod. That's a different Rod. The other Rod used to sound like, "Hi, Sarah. How are you?"
I think it's the same guy.
No, it's not. It's a different person. It's a different guy. I can tell. I have an excellent ear for vocal tonality. I can tell one fake impersonation from another.
Well, it's somebody impersonating the other one, I guess.
Well, we found that other Rod had been hanging out in our room as a guy named Larry Levi. And we managed to stop him from coming into the show. So if you saw Larry Levi, he was banned. That was another example of how Rod morphs into something we don't really know. Yeah, it was not David Bowie. I was wondering if David Bowie was still alive. I do believe that David Bowie is alive. Yeah, I believe David Bowie's alive. Yeah. Well, you're new here, viewer count. You're probably Larry Levi yourself. Are you formally Larry Levi, viewer count? When you're president, will you get 2 hours? No, you can't get 2 hours with Sarah. Sorry.
Maybe when David becomes president, David's not going to have 2 hours to spend with you. I'll have to spend the 2 hours with you because, the vice president's just waiting around.
Yeah, well, we'll try to parse off our time with as many people as possible. I was thinking of like an hour and a half in the White House buffet, where we could have a large area, about 50 people capacity, maybe even 100 person capacity. Yeah, there you go. 100 people can come in and eat from the fine, organic, non-GMO food grown in the gardens of the White House. And we can talk to you directly. I could sit behind like a plastic 9-inch acrylic bulletproof section. You would, however, be scanned when you go in to make sure you're even entering the outside of the gates of the White House. You might have to have a fast track lottery kind of solution to get in. What would you guys like at the buffet? I'm thinking a lobster roll would be really nice, as long as there's no shells in it. It could alternate between lobster and crab depending on the season. So the lobster roll would be a regular. We would always have the lobster crab roll, the endless one where you slice it off in 3-inch chunks, and if you want another 3-inch chunk, you come in and get some more. I got to get back to the basics. When you hear about food stamps being cut for people around the country, we have a plan called the Essential Food Plan, which would integrate all the fallow land that is currently not being grown because some farmers are getting money not to grow food. We would have them grow food, and we would take that food and process it as food for people on food stamps. You like your lobster cold? Oh, you don't like your lobster cold? Okay. So would you prefer a lobster troubadour? Or how about a lobster troubadour is kind of a hot dish. What about lobster bisque? Like a really good chowder. It could be like the chowder we used to serve in Hyannisport. I remember when we were there with Bobby, and we had some of the best lobster from Maine anyone could have. You know where Hyannisport is, right, Sarah?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Lobster bisque would be good. Okay, so we won you over on the lobster bisque. That we can put out on a regular basis. Something else would be good, broccoli, in honor of...
I like cheddar cream of broccoli soup.
That would be great. In honor, we'll call it the George H.W. Bush broccoli soup, because he hated broccoli. I would like a little bit of the George H.W., please. And let's not make the soup too salty, but let's add cheese. Because the problem with cheese broccoli soup is it tends to be a little too salty. So let's make sure the salt levels isn't over the top. Oh God, you're finally coming in under Mr. Muslim. Okay, no, blackface is not racist. It's simply a freedom of speech, in my opinion. Oh yeah, well, we still get salmon fresh up in Bellingham. Sarah and I have to go to a special store now or a special restaurant to get salmon though. Everybody's starting to cut back. It's getting kind of tight. Now you can't find a decent buffet in our area for less than $18. It's ridiculous. I like all people. I've never met I have met a couple people I didn't like, but I've never met a woman I didn't like. Well, maybe there was that one biker woman that I didn't like, but okay. Well, I'm just happy we're here together and we can, commiserate. I've had some pretty nice weather today, so I'm not that miserable.
Yeah, it was nice weather today.
Very few chemtrails, too. Only about 5 or 6 chemtrails in the sky today. Normally we get about 12 or 15. So I want to thank the global elitists for not spraying me like an insect yesterday.
This was a day in history when the Challenger exploded.
Oh, yes. A day in infamy. That was one of the biggest days of your life, really, that Challenger accident.
Yeah.
For you, that was a lifetime changing moment. I mean, for me, it was JFK getting killed. For some people, it was the 9/11 attack for younger people. But the Challenger exploding in 1986.
Really? That's when it happened?
Yeah.
Wow. I thought it happened later.
No. You were just a little girl. Long
Yeah, I was
time ago.
only 8 years old.
Yeah.
Why 80s latchkey kids equals today's helicopter parents. I should check that out.
Okay, I'm just checking on a link. What if I told you that Before It's News, you don't trust that site, but Before It's News has a copy of the Challenger crew before they actually... it claims preposterously that the Challenger really didn't crash the way we think it is. Here's the link to all of you in chat, so you can check this out on your own, but it's a pretty interesting story. Good to see you, Diaper Man. That sounded weird. Good to see you, Diaper Man. I don't know if I should say that. Let me just bring this up so you can look at it.
That is a very interesting.
Okay. Before Sarah falls asleep, we're going to show her something. This is the Challenger accident, as we all saw it on television in 1986. But this story purports that the 86 Challenger crew is still alive and well. Let me read it to you. This is just an odd bit of information. It's technology related, I think. There they all are. They have photographs of every one of them. The TV show that defines a decade. Okay, I would like to invite our readers to assess and evaluate for themselves whether or not it's a realistic possibility that almost all of the purported victims of the 86 Challenger disaster are still alive and well. You read the last 4 pages or so on the thread starting from here. So I don't have time to read all the pages, but...
All of them look like that, and they're all...
Yeah, let's just close in on Krista McCullough. Is that her right here? There's Krista. My goodness. She does look just like Krista McCullough. Yeah. And then the other guy, let's take a look at him. So is this some sort of a ridiculous BS story that we're being fed, that the Challenger went down, the O-rings blasted out, and boy, they do look alike. Wow. That's amazing. Isn't the truth amazing? All right, you decide. I'm not here to make your or break your decision on that one. The Russians blew it up as revenge. Guccifer. Not realistic. So Heavy Duty is going to Lake Marion in the Upper Santee Cooper Lake. Are you going to go fishing? Heavy Duty? And you've got another image. That's special. Now this is how to clean a catfish. Image flip. They aged gracefully, didn't they? Yeah. The audience says... Okay, that's not that good. And South Carolina catfish cleaning video. Would all y'all like to learn how to do some catfish cleaning?
Captain Daryl Smith. I
Here's
run
a
guide
good
service in South
example
Carolina,
of
Captain Daryl's Guide Service. I'm going to show you the way we clean catfish here in South Carolina.
Right.
This is how I prefer it, because if you're going to catch it and clean the fish, you need to get all the edible meat off of it.
This is technology
This is
101, everybody.
12, 13 pound catfish. What we do, you cut in right here at this angle fin, just cut alongside of it, just cut your slice in, poke through till you come out the back.
Yeah.
Come down, you've got the whole back side of that fillet loose.
All right.
Put him vertical, cut him right here at the back of the head,
Head.
and just follow your backbone
There you
down
go.
till you get to where you've already filleted it.
Now he's filleted it
All
right
right,
off
you
the
see,
bat.
here's my
See
fillet.
that?
See how the back half is loose?
That's smart.
Come up here and just follow your backbone down to the
Nah.
top of your ribs. We don't try to cut the ribs off.
Nope.
We leave the ribs on the carcass.
That's just
And
no
we
meat
come
there.
up and cut it all the way up to the back of the head.
Yeah.
And you see right there's your ribs.
Yeah, there you
That's
go.
all ribs right there. And then here goes your backbone.
I like some of them baby back
All right, then for this
catfish
side,
ribs.
cut it top of the head, come
I
down back
never
to the
had
back
none
of the
of them.
ribs, lay him over, poke through, and holding your knife along the backbone,
Yeah.
take the back half of that fillet off. See how
There
it's
you go.
off? And then just come up here
Now, are any of you feeling
Cut
sorry
down
for
to
the
the
fish that
ribs
died?
and
Did
do the
any of
same
you have
thing.
any
Just
feelings
follow
of
the top of
sympathy?
your ribs and come down.
I don't rightly
See,
think.
all that's ribs. Right there.
Why is he
There's
showing me the
very
ribs?
little meat left
So
there
that you-
at
you're
all if
showing
you want to
him
stew the
it's not
bones.
in the fillet.
Then here we take the bellies off. The bellies is the best part of the meat.
Oh,
Cut in right here by this bone,
I did
cut
not
up to
know
the
that.
throat.
The bellies.
Cut here,
Look at that.
and then follow your ribs. Don't just cut here,
Yeah.
but angle it with your ribs.
Go there
And
with
come
the
down.
rib. Look at that
And
little
flip it
piece
over.
there.
Cut in from this side,
That's smart.
and then follow your ribs
Look at
down.
that.
And then you got some little old connective tissue.
And that's the
that holds
soft
it in there.
fleshy area of the
All right.
catfish.
I just cleaned that fish.
He just did
And,
real good.
You see, there's no meat left on this fish again.
Well,
now,
I
they're a
don't-
little
well,
bit
there's
bigger.
plenty
We
of
will
protein
take
on
the
it.
cheek meat out from behind the eyeballs.
Yeah, there's the
But all
eyeballs. You
that's
can eat
pretty
those
much
too.
just bone and guts.
Bone and
All
gut.
right, on the belly fillets, what we do, you just crease right here,
Yeah.
just separate it.
All right.
Cut in right here and fillet it off the outside skin.
Okay.
Fillet this off.
He's
self
cutting a
off
lot of
the
good meat
outside
off
skin.
there.
All right,
Okay.
then we take this,
I
flip
get-
it over,
All right.
and just cut in to where we can hold on to it, and take this side. You want to take that there, you want to take that gray meat off. I'll show you what this meat looks like when it's washed up.
That's about the best meat there on the whole catfish. How all y'all?
All right, look how white and clean that meat is.
Well, yeah, but you practically reared the whole dang thing.
No, I don't think so.
Well, when you think about it, Sarah, he practically reared the whole thing because he's got a lot of their edible parts that aren't
No,
being
they're
used.
not edible. You can eat that then.
Well, I'd stick it in a vichyssoise or some sort of fish soup and make
and
some
you can eat
good
that
diddles.
then.
One does simply eat bacon. Recent story from the World Health Organization suggested that eating
Bacon is
bacon
awesome.
is bad.
No,
No, they did. They said eating bacon or any meat byproduct causes cancer, and I'm going, bacon is a health food. It's filled with niacin. You notice how healthy you feel when you have some bacon? Your body's craving niacin.
At times.
Yeah. Anyway, one does simply eat bacon. All right, Sarah, thank you for coming in and giving me some time. I'll take over. Got a good view here from all different angles. We got lots of people come in and talk about politics. Tonight we're going to be talking about technological developments like drones that drop spray on our head. I just couldn't believe I featured that earlier. Probably not here anymore. Okay, moved on.
Oh, I don't know where the drones are.
Oh man.
I didn't get rid of it though.
Okay, I'll be back. Thank you for coming in and helping out. Oh, no, stay, Sarah. Oh, you're the only reason why I'm here, Sarah. I don't want to be next to this guy Blather.
At 8 o'clock if you wanted to set your clock.
Yeah, set your clock for 8 and come on back in, Jacket Pockets. She'll be back. You know, I don't eat at restaurants because I'm a little bit worried. Go to Sandusky and they'll fit right in there, de Taylor. I'll hear you. Well, I'm working on my southern accent. I didn't grow up there, but I definitely have a certain learning curve to do. Yeah. So, yes, we can use drones to protect the border. We can actually use drones to fly over the border on a random basis all the time, as well as having a fence. It would be very important to have them, actually. Stealth drones with video cloaking capability. That's what I'm looking at. Yeah, the drone flies around with a projector screen on its outside. It's more like a blimp. And a video of the background is taken from the back side of the thing, and then it projects the video background onto the blimp. So the drone will be going over the border and no one will see it. It'll be completely stealth. Otherwise, you know, you might get some guy out there with an AK or an AR-15 and he's, you stinking Americans, I'm going to take your drone out. And then you get the drone bandito. I am the drone bandito. They hijack the drones. That would be bad. All right. We can pontificate here. This is Technology Thursday. Anything is possible. Well, I am somewhat of a shepherd. It's true. I offer myself up for no fee whatsoever. I'm just simply trying to raise the bar of intelligence in America. We are looking at an artificial drought being engineered by weather modification. If you are in California and it is still dry, bear in mind this has been a plan orchestrated way above our government. And our government never got in on even discussing the efficacy of what they're doing. So we've never been brought in on this weather modification thing. And that's why we need accountability. And that's why we absolutely need a third party. Now, we have a way to pay for all of our new technologies, and that's our renewable energy savings bonds, which will be offered to anyone who wants to invest and get a 4% return on their money over a 10-year period. It's a solid fixed investment, which will guarantee 4%, which even compared to T-bills, 10-year T-bills will still be very competitive and will draw energy off of our technologies, which will finance the electricity. The money from that will finance the interest on the bonds. Isn't that great? It's like immediately starts earning money once we start developing energy savings technologies. Now the key is to develop new technologies because obviously the two-party system has failed desperately in that department. They have shown emphatically how they simply allow business to continue outsourcing. And every time we expect government to stimulate the private sector, they just hand out tons of money to big people like T. Boone Pickens. T. Boone Pickens decided to put in windmills all over the country, and he made his money up front. And those windmills will not turn a profit long term. They're going to be slow to round out more money. So what I'm proposing is something that gets an immediate return on investment. this $1,000 Savonius vertical windmill can be installed on top of electric poles all across the country. And the installation job is a job that people can, get. The production of these Savonius vertical windmills will be another job. You can work in a production plant creating these things. But this is a way to get money back immediately from a product that hits the ground. Now, this is something we would fund with the renewable energy savings bonds. This will not come out of your tax dollars. So a lot of people think that I'm some sort of a socialist. I'm not. I don't want to tax and spend. Well, once robots gain consciousness through AI enhancements, we become trading partners with the robots, food for battery packs, then the batteries riot. Yeah. Unless we can actually pull the plug on AI, we're never going to get a handle on the reckless abuse of artificial intelligence. We got to be able to pull the plug on all of these. And I would warn everybody, Elon Musk, all the people that are working in this area, that they have to pull the plug and to be able to pull the plug. Yeah, I believe Joan Rivers was murdered. I agree with that. And Walton says, RIP, R.I.P., rest in peace to Patty Duke, the legendary film and TV star who won Academy Award for The Miracle Worker. And as just a great actress and very outspoken about how she was molested by her handlers. Yeah, and had a bipolar disorder. And she kind of paved the way for people to discuss their bipolar disorder on public television. The Obama drug czar still supports a gateway theory. Oh, how ridiculous. Chat room celebrities telling me about Obama's drug czar. We've heard nothing from the czars in 7 years. I mean, Obama is a joke, let's face it. And he's a guy who smoked marijuana most of his adult life, but refuses to legalize it. And with people like Loretta Lynch, I mean, she's so anti-pot, it's ridiculous. But now, according to this article, his drug czar supports the gateway theory that marijuana leads to other hard drugs. God. Well, we have historically high levels of marijuana use among youth. And we also see historical low levels of perception of the risk of marijuana, according to Botticelli. Yeah, the gateway theory. Botticelli thinks that, and who is Botticelli? Michael Botticelli. He's the drug czar. He thinks the evidence is pretty clear that early use of alcohol, tobacco, and marijuana, often used together, significantly increase the probability that someone will develop a more significant addictive disorder later in their life. He said, early substance use actually affects brain development and predisposes people for more significant vulnerabilities later in their life. I'm trying to talk as fast as I can. Yeah, I don't know. Seems a little odd that he bundled it all together. I mean, alcohol is addictive, marijuana isn't. That's the truth. The world's smallest matchbook flashlights. Well, let's be clear. This is one incredibly small flashlight. I used it one night when I was with Michael in the privacy of the Oval Office. We finally found his sweet spot. Okay, here we go. World's smallest matchbook-sized flashlights. Ever heard of tiny matchbook-sized LED lights that are both waterproof and magnetic? Now you have with the MBAI Matchbook. The motto of the company who makes these tiny flashlights is the lights that nobody else dares to make. So apparently they're putting them in matchboxes. Yeah, they're going to be selling them in matchbox sticks. And it's an Indiegogo campaign that's already funded to the tune of $24,600, which is 244% of the original funding amount. That's pretty weird, pretty wild and crazy. Yeah, yes. Okay. Honestly, kid today will never know how bad the quality of weed back in the day. Yeah, remember those? They called them reefers. Okay. Yeah, caffeine and nicotine are gateways too, chat room. I agree. Whereas marijuana is not addictive, caffeine and nicotine are. I mean, why would it be clumped into that same category? It's crazy. Okay, Marla Knack says, so you're running for president. What's your point of view on the GOP railroading that's happening? The GOP railroading. Okay. Computer error. Processing. It's a process of geoscience. Must be registered. No. What is geo-railroading exactly? Oh, geopolitical re-leveraging. Thank you. Yeah, that's a tough one, Marla. You're really talking about the power of the Illuminati, but you just don't know it. Yeah, it's a buzzword you guys are using now for Turkey's geopolitical assertiveness, reevaluating NATO. Yeah, it's just a smokescreen for something even worse. A lot of people believe that Turkey is being put in play by NATO to trigger a conflict with Russia, thereby initiating World War III. Here's a very clever new add-on for your car. As if Arnold wasn't busy enough with his new godchild and Mildred. He's got to stand behind your windshield and control your windshield with this new technology. Yeah, I'm a cybernetic windshield operator. Human flesh over metal windshield blade. Yeah. I think I've seen everything now. Of course, I have to save that. It won't let me. It wants me to download the image. You know, I don't like that. Forget it. My plans for the ISS space station, we're going to suspend operations on the ISS space station. Unless it can turn a profit, I don't want to get involved. We're going to retask the current space program to get payloads of satellites into the air so we can make money. We're going to turn NASA into a for-profit organization as opposed to what it's been doing. I'm not wearing a hairpiece. This is my real hair. Sorry for the, what is your stance on world cryptocurrencies? They're not really strong enough to compete with the world standard, the US dollar. The BRIC nations and their attempts to prop up their currency has amounted to no more than a couple $100 billion in backing. Whereas the power of the dollar has perhaps trillions behind it and a very strong service economy here in America. So there's no way that alternative world currencies will come into play in the next 10 years. I highly doubt it. The world economy is dependent on the growth of capitalism. And since capitalism requires expanding frontiers to grow, we have to constantly develop new frontiers to grow. And in the past, capitalists have exploited the working force of poor nations, put it on the backs of poor people to provide cheap products in the new emerging second and first world nations. That model's collapsing. I think economies of scale will begin to emerge, mixed economies, and the growth of regionalism, which I strongly think will be the mainstay of all the world's economies. I support the nation-state model. I don't support a new world order. I believe that that's some sort of a globalist wet dream. And but in my opinion, the new world order is really the rebranding of the monarchy of the past. So we need to steer away from global world controls and get back to regional and the nation-state model for government. And that's the one fact that has withstood the test of time. Thousands of years the nation-state model has held up against this attack from people like Julius Caesar, Napoleon, Hitler, and now Trump, trying to turn his $10 billion imaginary worth into something bigger, the presidency of the United States. Well, Trump's gaffe recently is extremely disturbing, claiming he wanted to punish women who had abortions and then recanting it. He's basically throwing the Republicans under the bus. So the Republicans have a choice. I know I'm shifting gears to U.S. politics, but the Republicans now have a choice to either put up or shut up. Yeah, so they're going to have to put up a leader to counter his incredible brazen behavior, or they're going to get taken down. The Republican Party is on its last leg. Trump is the clown managing the circus, and it's getting more and more disturbing as time goes on. Therefore, the ominous music is playing in the back. It may be the last days of the Republican Party and the emergence of a new political movement called a third party. That's where we come in. We're trying to build that every night on our show. Our interactive show, which goes on all the time now, every day, except for Sundays, our day of rest. NASA has a top-notch hairpiece system? I doubt that. You're fixated, says Salty Dog. What are you, balding or something? Well, let's be clear. I'm not balding. Third party, not turd party. Yeah. We can't stop because we won't stop. That's the whole motto here. We'll play that for you in a little bit. I'll start dancing too. You busy? You've got something for me? We have a visitor from a VIP land. Okay, here it is. Greenpeace activists make some fossil fuel donations, and Hillary loses patience with her, or him. Let's take a look at this. Hillary losing patience. That's like the sky turning blue.
Thank you for tackling climate change. Will you act on your words and reject fossil fuel money in the future in your campaign?
I do not. I have money from people who work for fossil fuel companies. I am so sick. I am so sick of the Sanders campaign lying about me. I'm sick of it.
I agree with you with Sanders on the cause of both.
Losing her cool with the Greenpeace act. The whole idea of losing your cool, I wouldn't be doing what she's doing. I couldn't do a meet and greet. It would be hard to get my robotic system out to meet people in a crowd. I would be tethered to the hydrogen fuel cell, which goes with me on a trailer. Some people think I'm a robot. Can you imagine? Well, in this day and age, you don't know. I mean, you really don't know. I mean, yeah. You're so fixated. Stop the hairpiece thing. You hear Hillary's voice, you want to hurl. Jackson, you don't want to hurl now. You're holding down your water and juice diet. Gary Johnson polled 11% versus Trump. I'd like to say Gary Johnson is an official candidate, but yeah. He doesn't do a regular show like I do. He's profiting from marijuana sales. I don't profit from marijuana sales. I'm not going to violate a national law. I'm not a big money guy like so many libertarians out there. So if I had 2 minutes in the mainstream media, or 1 minute, I'm sure I'd get a notice. I'm sure we'd be able to talk about things on a bigger level. It's a shame that I've spent all these years talking to the room only and not being able to reach out beyond this, but we've got other people now that are promoting us. A network in Japan has taken our show and put it online. And everyone's standing around right now waiting for me to dance and play the blackface video. I know. And I know you're all waiting for that, so I'll be getting in there as soon as I can. Okay, WW3 breaking news. 18 days before final stages of World War III begin. Welcome to Fearmonger News. And the EyesOpenNetwork.com. Take a look. The forthcoming planned invasion of Syria by Turkish and Saudi ground forces, according to the geopolitical analyst, was discussed at the NATO headquarters on the same day as a ceasefire agreement was reached at the Munich Security Conference. Yeah, so they're playing both ends against the middle, I guess. Wanting to start World War III, that seems to be on their mind, man. It really makes you wonder, where is the nuclear parity? And if the technology for nuclear mutual assured destruction is there, how come these people aren't afraid of blowing each other up? I mean, I don't get it. I'm sure he used to be your governor, yes. A lot of people that sell medical marijuana for profit, are just strictly in it for the money. I'm sure Gary Johnson is doing very well. People that are into money are not the kind of people you want to run the country. They're just solely in it for themselves. Frankie, David is Vaughn's best working robot. Oh, thank you, Frankie. Frankie believes in reptilians, folks. Frankie believes that the earth is flat. You don't mind me telling people, do you, Frankie? Just as a point of reference, I'm not condemning you for those thoughts. It's just everyone has different views, We all come together to chat. Watch Hillary Clinton dance to support her campaign. Let's take a look. Is this the Hillary Clinton support crew coming in here trying to promote her? Pretending like she and Bill were dancing together?
What you gonna do with all that loot inside that pants?
I'm gonna wear some sensible pumps so I can stomp.
What you gonna do with all them breasts and them bottoms?
I'm gonna take them to the White House, the White House. 'Cause I'll stomp. I'll use my lady humps to stomp and stomp and stomp.
Somehow I don't believe that's an official video authorized by the whitehouse.com site. Wow. You're amazing. That's worth looking at, though. That was top notch. No question about it. Well, make no mistake about it. Hillary sure can dance. I wish Michelle could dance as good. I've actually got a little thing going on in my show. If you type in my name, you'll see me dance simultaneously with a picture of Michael Obama in the background. That's Michael in the white pants and me pretending to dance with Michael, learning the moves. Yeah, it's pretty funny. I'll put it on the screen for y'all to see. Oops, we're losing it. There it is. Now it's a cool little GIF that we can put in there. Okay, an ultrasonic knife cuts like butter. It cuts through bread like butter. Let's take a look at this brand new technology for the home use. Yes. So basically, this is how we're going to do. We're going to fix the EPA. We're going to fix the Food and Drug Administration so they stop penalizing holistic doctors by, putting them on lists and they end up dying. We're going to shrink the CDC so it doesn't waste money and create vaccinations that kill people. And the USDA, we don't want the cows, downer cows stuck. And we don't think CPS is needed either. And we want to fire the IRS. Boy, that's really rolling along pretty fast. Okay, yeah, so we have a lot of things we're different than the Republicans and Democrats on. Let's take a look at this baguette cutting by ultrasonic knife. This should be fun. Isn't it amazing? Wow. I'm impressed. These are hard to cut, too. Oh, that's going to be flying off the sales rack. If you ever struggled with cutting thick, crunchy loaves of bread, there may be a new knife for you that utilizes ultrasonic technology. Mex Tech, a company that focuses on the ultrasonic utensil industry, has released videos showing how effortlessly their new knife can cut through a loaf of bread just like butter. All right. Thanks, I get the drift. Julia Child said that butter was a little piece of heaven on earth. God put a little piece of heaven on earth, and she said butter was it. I love butter. I won't eat margarine. You couldn't get me to eat margarine if you tried, considering it's made of turpentine. I mean, it's just not cool to eat stuff like that. So butter is way more preferred, as long as it didn't come from a downer cow. Okay, buttermilk. Yeah, well, that's a little harsh. How about the GOP thing of GMO? Well, we're against GMOs, 100%, Marla. Yeah. We've got a personal, we have another runner that I have here that could play. Let me put Bernie's picture of his car here on the screen so you can look at his new car. Yeah, Bernie bought an R8. It's a $175,000 car. There's the socialist that you people think is going to really care about the common man. But by the way, socialism is corruptible just like every other form of economics. Yeah, that's a little wake-up call for all of you to realize Bernie's into money. Wake up, everybody. Well, I'm not corruptible, Marlena. I'm the unbuyable candidate. I've dedicated my life to living a life of poverty. And poverty isn't just a character on Survivor. It's actually a lifestyle. Yes, it's a good cowbell. I don't know who called the Clooney point, George. I saw that on the screen. I did not know who said that. Yeah, sort of like Jesus. I picked up this relic from the past at a rare. It was a rare meeting I had with a person one day, and he said it was from Nazareth, near Jerusalem. I said, "Well, how much is it?" He said, "It's for you. I will give it to you." And he handed me this. So whenever I need to go out into the pasture and find some sheeple out there, I'll bring them in and yank them into the show. Don't ever insult George Clooney. I know. I never thought that would happen again. A great piece on Cruz. Okay. The monster portrait of Ted Cruz and how it is possible that he could be grandpa on the Munsters. That's right. The Munster, in my illustration of this, working with Adobe yeah. So here we go. He's working harder on it. Took a lot of time. Okay. Yeah, that took very little time, actually. There's a program that does that in about 2 seconds. No mandatory anything. There'll be no individual mandates when I become president. No one will have mandated. You won't even have to go to the bathroom unless your body insists that you have to go. But at least you're not calling me Diaperheim. Thank you, Diaper Man. Retire the Dracula. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Very good. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to respond to every question. I realize that. But Corky says, should health insurance providers be required to offer free birth control? No. I think the government should be able to continue to offer free condoms at like kiosks outside of Planned Parenthood buildings that have been boarded up. I don't believe that we need to fund Planned Parenthood abortions. But I do agree with the condom program. I think that providing people with enough condoms in America is critical. Also providing, needles to junkies would be a smart move too. Earth Sky says, where do I buy the ultrasonic knife? Well, let me give you the link and you can go check it out, okay? Great link from Scissor Fight. Yeah, he rocks on links. Check it out. Should Congress raise the debt ceiling? Well, Corky, it's pretty obvious they're going to have to. I say yeah. Take it up to $20 trillion. And then we'll deal with it when I become president. Okay? Yeah, that should buy us a little time. We've got another $1.5 trillion to go. Overspending by the Democrats, Republicans before I reel in their wasteful ways. Yeah, they're just going to kick the can. I will make the necessary cuts as president. I can tell you exactly what those cuts will be if you'd like, but I usually do that on Wasteful Wednesday. Wow. Now the UN has officially declared the World War III. Oh, gee, I thought World War III started back in 2000 with the Coalition of the Willing when we attacked Iraq. I think this is wrong. I think we've been at World War III for the past 15 years. The chairman of the Security Council of the United Nations, Raimonda Merkmolkite, officially declared from New York on Wednesday that after World War II ended, several countries have declared against the forces called itself Islamic State or ISIS. I don't buy this crap. I really don't. I think we've probably been at war since 2000, so we can call that World War III, and then we can wrap it up. So I'm going to end World War III, and here you didn't even know it began. I'm going to end it in 2017, once I get elected. Yeah, Bernie wants to spend $15 trillion we don't have. I've got a way to bring money back into our system. Our concept of hybrid capitalism, it's a 99-cent download on Kindle. If you want to read the book, go to our store at AmericasThirdParty.com and simply read the book. It's that simple. It's a very simple plan to get the economy to run efficiently with a pay-as-you-go plan. McCain said 100 years, yeah. They all claim that war is going to go on forever, but I'm going to stop that as soon as I pull the Council of Foreign Relations out of our ass. Yeah. Well, what do you want to make, David Nation? Because the highest top salary in my plan is $60,000. So I guess I won't be able to pay you much. Yeah. So I guess David Nation doesn't want that job I was thinking he'd be good at. The entire hero leader idea is a fallacy. Much respect for what you're doing, but don't you think it's a reform of the economic and electoral systems and not a party or candidate that's going to fix things? I think your party should focus more on nonpartisan continuing political education for adults before you try and get elected. And DACA, I'm here as a simple litmus test of the failure of our nation's free press system. 7 years and I've gotten no mainstream media coverage. That in and of itself is a stumbling block to democracy. The fact that you think I should start small and build up is ridiculous, because the people that are buying our political structure literally control all the major airways. So if we don't build this on the internet, it won't be built. And I go by the theme that, like Field of Dreams, where Kevin Costner says, you know, build it and they will come. Well, we built the ship for you to carry yourself out there and get me on the ballot. You just don't want to go there. AmericasThirdParty.com has a state access point. Just go to the old site and click that button in the middle and then travel to your state, and you'll see exactly how to get me on the ballot. But you don't want to do the hard work. So you'd rather come in here and condemn me for what I do every day. So, I mean, I know you're seeing the problem up close and personal, and I'm not angry at you, believe me. But we are all frustrated by the control of very few elitists, the 1%ers like Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton, who try to dominate our American politics and do so every day. Joker 6, I will be getting paid $400,000 a year as a salary, which more than covers anything I could incur at the White House. I won't charge the American people a lot for the operational ability of the White House. It'll actually be making money back. I'm going to put the 6-packs of beer that Barack Obama hoards in his Oval Office, drinking his light beer and dark beer. I'm going to put those up for sale. We're going to sell a brand of beer nationwide, worldwide, so that we can finance the operations of the White House. Everything I do will have a return on investment. We'll have a White House buffet, which we will draw a salary or enough to pay for the working staff, so it won't have to come out of your tax dollars. And I will probably have to buy a couple clothes, but it won't be too much money. So I'm the opposite of Obama and Michelle. I don't spend a lot of money. Those two are really into money. David Nation, what if I told you'd get a per diem to sleep in motels? Would that make you feel better? No, I don't support the TPP, Corky. No, Mr. Muslim, stop asking for special perks for Muslims, because we don't give people who are non-U.S. citizens perks. If you're a Muslim who's a U.S. citizen, we could certainly offer you something. Diaper Man, I can't take any donations directly to me personally, but if you want to donate to the campaign, you certainly can by hitting our donate button. But you don't have to pay for me to take Sarah out to dinner. I mean, I can't legally solicit money for me personally here. Remember, I'm 100% compliant with the FEC. I've received no money whatsoever in 7 years of doing this every day. So I'm not going to, break that rule by taking some money from me. Somebody sent me $100 from Norway because they really wanted, Sarah and I to take each other. I had to send the money back because I can't accept money from foreign donors at all. Okay, here's some technology you can try at home. I don't recommend it, but it's certainly unique. I mean, this is something Scissor Fight found. Do-it-yourself popcorn maker. for camping. There you go. Looks like a bong.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my laboratory where safety is #1 priority. And like that. Just grab your knife and cut out this hole. So that's what it's gonna look like, just like this. So then we're gonna put a little bit of oil over there, throw a bunch of popcorn in there. Okay, then we're gonna put the can on top of fire and let's see if it actually works.
Yes.
Here you go, the first one.
That's
right
great.
in the plate. Wow, second one right in the plate. How awesome is that?
It is awesome, Boris. You're doing something great again, like a great leader.
Wow, this machine is the best.
Put the kernel in one at a time, and you end up igniting the rag. You know, I can't waste my time doing this. When I could go down and buy, for $1.99, I can go to a thrift store and buy a hot air popper. I mean, really. I could think of a lot of better things to do with my burner. Yeah. Things you can do with a burner. Popcorn make you, yes. Russia, popcorn make you, yes. Irish rebel. It gets faster. Okay, Carlin knew. I'm sure he did. I've offered to take 25% of my salary as president, and I will stand by that. And I want to put it into the garden and into local food banks in Washington, D.C. So $100,000 will be, I'll be spending it in ways that will actually multiply that. So we want to make, you want to make 100,000? So I'd have to give you 100,000 out of pocket, and we wouldn't be able to give any homeless people food. You'd rather have that 100,000, David Nation? So you're saying I should just donate my 1/4 of my salary to you? Is popcorn non-GMO? Are you guessing, Noble Watchman? Because I've wondered about that. I think you may be right, because GMO popcorn you can't pop. Huh? Yes. So David Nation just wants the 100 grand. You should. Yes, when I become president, I'm going to turn a lot of areas in America into thrift stores. So I'll be shopping at the thrift stores. I have a plan to rebuild the shopping malls using kiosks they're going to be leased out for as low as $20 for a weekend to people to sell their wares. We have a lot more service sales to make in our economy. A lot of people need to clean their closets out, and a lot of people need to buy things. So we need to get the economy rolling. I'm going to suggest that the super malls that are collapsing open up sections to kiosks so that average people can just take a 2-day rental for $20 and sell their wares. Like swap meets, yeah, but a little bit more upscale. And I'm going to encourage a type of marketing technique that I've seen is very effective. It's a scavenger hunt. And anybody who goes into these swap meet malls will walk away with a free gift. But they can also, when they do the scavenger hunt, they have to go booth to booth and pick up tickets from people. They at least get to see products along the way. It's a good idea to get people to get into the door. So coming in with offering something for free with a scavenger hunt, and it could be something simple. You know, it could be like a wampum or a whirligig or something. Who knows? Bizarre. Okay, here we go. This is the story I was looking for, because I was thinking, is my big 3-pound sack of popcorn GMO? And the answer is clear now. Thank you so much. That was excellent. Yeah, not bad. Noble Watchman is giving me some clarity tonight. You know, I've talked about, last night I said that all oatmeal is non-GMO. That's true. Oatmeal is still not genetically modified. So if you're trying to preserve your diet, get oatmeal in the morning. It's great for breakfast. It lowers cholesterol. It's been proven to do that. The seeds of Doubt conference recently, Jeffrey Smith, executive director of the Institute for Responsible Technology and GMO expert, assured us that even though almost 90% of the corn grown and eaten in this country is GMO corn, popcorn comes from a different seed that has not been genetically modified. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. So while you should assume that your Doritos brand corn chips and those sweet corn cobs in the sale at grocery are genetically modified, even though they are not labeled as such, you'll never have to worry about your popcorn being GMO. Makes you feel a little better about ordering the large tub at the movie theater with lots of toxic waste on top of it. Could I have the popcorn with the extra toxic margarine topping? Thanks. I personally, I just use hot air popcorn makers. They're really good. Sarah loves it. We make our own blend. We get one of those atomizers with olive oil in it, and we spray it down with fresh olive oil and put seasonings like cumin and garlic powder and a little light salt. It's really good. You can make your own brand for a lot less than a movie theater, that's for sure. But that's really good to know, Noble Watchman. That's great news. That's news you can lose. You can use that news. Use that news. Yeah. Microwaving is not necessarily irradiating food. Where do you get that information? Gamma rays may irradiate it, but microwaves are not gamma rays. There's no lingering radiation when you microwave your coffee. Otherwise, I'd be growing tumors all over my mouth because I've been drinking microwave coffee for 25 years. Make that 30 years. Well, I Beyond That says, David, what will you do to prevent the TSA from harassing people? I know we'll talk about glyphosate, flea market. I'll get to that. That's why I'm not in favor of GMOs. Well, the TSA actually is extremely abusive and violating our rights. And I want to make sure that we eliminate the TSA, phase them out. So I'm going to start bringing in National Guard as soon as 2017 rolls around. We're going to bring in National Guards members, plain clothes, men and women, and Coast Guard, men and women, who are basically designed to guard our ports of entry. And we're going to replace the TSA with them. He's 100 years old. Why don't you pick me? I'm a better guy. Better choice. This is kind of cool technology. These drones are going to get smaller and smaller as time goes on. That's right. Microwaves do not use X-rays or gamma rays, and they do not make food radioactive. Tell that to the guy who has 7 PhDs in his brain, who claims he knows everything. Yeah. Trying to picture, I've got a picture here of a person getting groped at the airport. But every time I look for it, I look in the conspiracy category, and I believe it's in the fun category. It's got to be kind of fun getting yourself groped, right? I wouldn't want that, but... No. No, I guess it is a conspiracy. Well, it's a conspiracy to get groped. No, I'm not. That's a jet over my head. They're flying recklessly over a populated area. They don't seem to care about anything. This is a day in the life of David outside his house. Yeah, that's what I got to put up with every day. Plus, they're dropping chemtrails, flying jets. It's ridiculous. We are going to allow visitors in the White House. Yep. Like I said, we're going to allow at least 100, in the buffet area per hour. That would be a way to get money back for the White House and put out a good product, a good wholesome meal. An all-you-can-eat buffet where people really enjoy. Apparently, this is going to I'm going to have to go into a different modality when That is so strange. Look what they're building in China. China. That is an industrious nation. Look at that. No, I won't be running outside the White House. No, I'll be inside swimming. I prefer swimming. This is a country that really appreciates the importance of gold edifices. That's huge. Wow. Well, at least they created jobs. Look at it that way, No, I'm going to keep my swim spa here, but I'm just going to use the White House pool. And if they don't have a pool, we're going to be putting one in. Open guest now? Okay. Guest on. Is there a bowling alley in the White House, Jackson? Okay, thanks, Mama June, for sharing your special moment. Everything on electromagnetics is emitting radiation. That is correct. Everything. I agree. There is RF frequencies coming from the microwave, but it's not radiation, permanent radiation. I'm not drinking irradiated water. And yeah, a microwave is very dangerous. It can be turned into a weapon. It's very serious. Love you. Voting for you to make this country number one. Thanks, 8213. Thank you for getting support behind me. This is a nonstop battle. We're challenging the status quo and how they're literally dumping chemicals on us like insects, allowing glyphosate to be sold everywhere as Roundup. I walked into my local Ace today and I saw a Roundup Ready series of bottles right in front of me, gallons of this Roundup. I just can't believe people are still going for it and just dumping that stuff in their atmosphere. My father used Roundup when it first came out, and he didn't wear a mask when he delivered that product on our yard, and we actually had an unbelievable problem. Right after he used the Roundup, he got a massive headache for 3 days, wouldn't go away, and then came back pain, and then came an enlarged prostate, and then came a transurethral resection of the prostate, which doctors give away like it's candy, which only creates necrosis of the flesh, which can cause cancer, which he got cancer. And this is like a year and a half after Roundup, he came down with really, really bad prostate cancer. I never would have used the product. Had I been around at the time, I would have said, Dad, why did you buy that product? But he literally bought the product and delivered it and used it and got contaminated. And I lost my dad because of Roundup, I think. But I can't prove it. But I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Well, earthquake's always coming up, earthquake. That's like a guarantee. You're not necessarily predicting anything that's not going to happen. Earth Sky says Alert 1, earthquake information, seismic activity. Alert 1 in Toshi. Thank you. It will happen, but will it be bad? That's very rude, Captain Howdy. I'm going to purge you. How do you even get in here? I ban people for less. So in order to move the electrons from the radioactive net electrons nanoseconds after I pull it out of the microwave, so if I put my head in the microwave and drank it while it was boiling, I might get some radiation. You're right. Yeah, I ban people for less. That's right. Look at it this way. If frequencies were not harmful, they would not be regulated. I agree. But I believe that we may be over-regulating the radiation coming from nuclear power plants. I listened to a very interesting story from Galen Windsor, one of the former nuclear regulators at the Hannaford Nuclear Waste Depository. And Galen Windsor was a real renegade, a real maverick that said that radiation is not nearly as dangerous as people think. He actually drank from the water in the cooling area around the plutonium spent fuel rods. And he took a swim in it too, a daily swim. I am not losing partition sectors from my brain. I constantly screen and defragmentate my reboot. Hi, my name is David Sponheim. I'm running for president. Galen, yeah. Not Galen as in gay. Whatever. Look him up. He's a really... In fact, let me play the video for you. I'll save you some time. Why can't we just build huge generators near waterfalls? Captain Howdy, we have huge generators near waterfalls, and we're only tapping 20% of that power. Oregon and Washington have been so manipulated by the oil and coal lobby that we literally decommission 80% of our hydroelectric power. We don't even draw from it. The coal and oil lobby have so much power over local government and energy fixing rates like Enron that they literally control the price, and we can't even access that renewable energy. In fact, in Washington state, it's not considered green energy from a hydroelectric plant, simply because they don't want to factor it in. It's ridiculous. You have it documented? Yeah. We're only using 20% of hydroelectric dam energy right now as it is. I mean, we're dealing with a country that's completely mismanaged. The only reason why our country is successful up to a point is we keep printing money to finance this. Here's Galen Windsor talking about radiation and how safe it is.
I'm pleased to have as our guest Mr. Galen Windsor from Richland, Washington.
Action. What then is all this falderall about a little bit, 5 grams will kill everybody in the world? They don't know what they're talking about. And when they say that, they're thumbing their nose at measurement experts like Galen Windsor. I am insulted when they say those things.
Now here's a man that's speaking in the third person. He was insulted. He worked very hard to get the facts straight about radiation, and he claimed that the numbers that the NRC is using are just woefully too low, that we will not be affected as much. This one video gave me hope that we may not be fried completely from Fukushima. It gave me hope that the people of Japan will live longer lives and not face as many adversities that we thought they would. But in no way does it give me hope that the ocean is going to live. I still believe the Pacific Ocean is dying off because of the radiation dripping out of Fukushima.
And get away with it because it has no bearing on the truth. It cannot be mishandled. It will not expose any person to an unshielded nuclear reaction.
I mean, this guy's the top expert, and he spoke out, and he was basically banned, blacklisted by the Nuclear Regulatory Commission. They called him a whack job. But he swam in the spent fuel rod water outside of plutonium cooling zones inside the Hannaford system that he was the top regulator. He knows. So he died at 88 of leukemia. You can call him a whack job, but he lived longer than the average lifespan. I mean, hello. He probably got leukemia from the radiation, but I mean, he may have had a point. Back to the mosquito up your butt. Yeah, this thing is extremely real, and they could be watching you at any time from a small mosquito floating around you. Who are they? I don't know. I don't know who they are. I don't really care either. Wow, emergency slide from a plane fell on somebody's house. I don't know how that can happen. Maybe the chemtrail door opened up and they let out the collapsible plane, because they were dropping too many chemtrails. Who knows? A homeowner here says an emergency slide from a plane onto her house. A Buddha statue and some angels usually are the only things sitting outside Andrea's Self's front door. It's definitely a blessing that the damage is to a tree and not a person, Self said. How would you like to be named Andrea's Self? It's extremely self-centered of her to be named that way. It's an interesting name. Okay, back to you in the chat. Frankly, if Jesus came back to Earth or was born again and there was a second coming. The way our country is right now, banning God in every government facility, that he probably would be arrested and sent to a psychiatric unit and put on a 5150 hold. Yeah. For laying hands on people. So I feel like our world is so far removed from the days when Jesus walked the earth that I decided to bring back this staff of Jesus and walk the earth in his stead. So as I take a trip out here, I will go ahead and begin the vigil.
We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. We can't stop, 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 and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. We can't stop, we can't stop, we can't stop, we can't stop.
So let's be clear. In this coming election year, please vote for David Sponheim. America's Third Party.
Sponheim for president. We can't stop, we can't stop, we can't stop, and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. Can't stop, can't stop, can't stop, and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. Can't stop, can't stop, can't stop, can't stop.
First we hit 'em low, then we hit 'em high. Underrated, but we made it to the finish line. Rhymes designed to combine and intertwine. Spring to the summer, fall, even winter time. Beats banging harder, then head-on collisions. We make incisions with precision and quick decisions. Causing double visions if you ain't up to speed. You need to speed it up, partner, piano read.
We can't stop and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. Can't stop, can't stop, we can't stop, can't stop, we can't stop and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. Can't stop, can't stop, can't stop, can't stop, we can't stop and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. Can't stop, we can't stop, we can't stop, we can't stop, we can't stop and we won't stop.
In this coming election, please vote for David Sponheim. America's Third Party.
Can't stop, can't stop, can't stop and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. Can't stop, can't stop, can't stop, can't stop.
Okay, so Sarah's here.
Hi, everybody.
Yeah, so we lost a viewer, Mr. Muslim. We had to ban him because he's promoting his own party. We are here to talk about new technologies, and one of the nice things that I'd like to get involved in is air filtration and water filtration technologies on a large scale. And we're very fortunate to have a new product that Lockheed Martin has developed called graphene. And graphene is something that bodes really well. It could actually desalinate water. And no, Sarah doesn't dance. She danced one time, I think, on that song, but that was it. We're trying to minimize her energy drain in the show. Me, I need to work out. Constant. If I don't work out, I'm gonna, end up getting heavy and obese. So, but yeah, fixing the air pollution problem and the water pollution problem is a big priority for me, and I want to make sure we have the ability to do that. And right now, there doesn't seem to be anything on the horizon that will really do it in a big way. So, we've got a real problem in the world. We need to trap the pollution and filter the pollution. But instead, the elitists have decided they just want to dump more pollution into the air because they believe that somehow it'll levitate all the pollution into the mesosphere when they do that. I mean, it's a bizarre theory that some guy who apparently was listened to by the very powerful elitists, and we're looking at a serious situation now where the air is getting worse, the ozone layer is depleted more and more, and they continue using the same technique, which doesn't accomplish any real net results. So we've got a lot of problems and a lack of political communication that is not making any sense. Look at this article here. Pizza Hut is changing the donut game in Canada. Look at that. Donut pizzas with olives on them. Gourmet donuts have become all the rage these days, so much that the mainstream companies not usually associated with the breakfast food are getting involved. One such company appears to be Pizza Hut. Yeah.
Pizza Hut Canada.
Canada, yeah.
That's pretty interesting.
It's funny. In some places, you can get, like, Subway Canada offers lobster rolls in some areas in Canada, and they don't sell them in America. I would love one of those lobster rolls up in Canada. Okay, we're sure that Trump has got foot and mouth disease based on his statement recently that, he wants women who have abortions to be punished. So I'm a little concerned that Trump is going to continue with his foot and mouth disease well into the future. And if you people still think he's a good guy for the presidency, there's something wrong with your head. So, yeah, we're going to have to purge you and turn guest chat off, because I am not going to stand here and allow that crap here. Some are a problem, and I had to shut it off, 988. Sarah needs some good quality time with you guys, so I'm going to start your session off with a cowbell on me. No charge. Courtesy of Dave. Isn't that great? Well, I was wondering if that food stamp story where they're going to cut off 500,000 food stamp recipients was an April Fool's joke, because April 1st, that's no joke. 500,000 recipients of food stamps will be cut off, for starters. Well, considering there's close to 45 or 50 million people in America now on food stamps, that's a small drop in the bucket. Yeah, come and get it. Free cowbells here on the show. Yeehaw. So did you see the ultrasonic knife that cuts bread? That's worth looking at. I'll show you, Sarah, this. Check this knife out. It's the baguette cutting ultrasonic knife.
Ultrasonic knife?
Yeah, look at this. Ever had problems cutting bread? Look at that. Isn't it amazing? It slices, it dices, it makes mounds and mounds of baguettes. It's the Bread-O-Matic, the ultrasonic device that will cut through anything with precision grace. Laser precision, the ultrasonic technology created by Mextech, is state-of-the-art bread cutting. Some of you people who want to cut your crackers will not be able to cut crackers.
But you can cut bread.
Oh, yeah.
Ultrasonic knife. Huh?
Void where applied in states that don't allow knives. You cannot purchase this knife in London or in Britain due to its simple fact that it's dangerous.
I wonder if you can purchase it in France, where they sell baguettes to be cut.
I know. Well, I think they allow knives in England, but you're not allowed to walk around with them inside of your body, or on your body, I should say. Inside your body. That's a little weird.
Yeah, that would be a little
You
weird.
Can't really walk around with them in your body.
You stab. Someone got stabbed. They couldn't walk around with it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, so far so good. We've been managing to deal with a seemingly good, upbeat crowd tonight on Thursday. You came home so earlier. I thought it felt like a Friday. I thought it was Freedom Friday, and I put my tie on, my Freedom tie on, and I even went so far as to say it was Freedom Friday, and I said Technology Thursday right in the beginning of the show.
I'm so sorry.
I just totally blew it. I just had no idea. Sarah has to work one more day this week.
Then I get a week off.
That's good. Your 15-year-old turned 16 today, heaven sent? Yeah, you give him a cake in the shape of a massive increase in auto insurance premiums. Yeah, there you go. I know your family's going to incur those costs if you let your son drive the family car. I know. I think Sarah pays more for insurance, car insurance, than I do because she's a woman. It's weird. They do. I mean, they're like targeting women.
Younger
yeah. But they found out, the insurance companies found out that more women are working than men, so they're charging more.
Maybe that's it. What?
Well, she's not sitting far away. She's just kicking back.
I can't see where I'm sitting here.
She's kicking back here.
I'm just relaxing.
No, you're jumping to conclusions. I did garlic 2 days ago, but not today. I didn't know that. Yeah, women are charged more. If you put your policy on your husband, you might get a better deal. Yeah, they're all about the money. All the insurance companies are about the money. Here's a guy who had a texting argument with himself. He was so drunk he had an argument with himself, texting. Man gets so drunk, he argues with himself over a text message. He has a text argument himself and doesn't realize it until the next day. Okay. Don't drink and text. Okay. Most people have enjoyed a tipple and sent a message to the wrong person by accident, and then it comes to text mistakes. This man wins hands down. Martin McNally, 29, from Dundee, had enjoyed a night out at the bingo with girlfriend Nicole, and when they returned home, helped himself to a few more drinks. He was slightly worse for wear when he asked Nicole for a mutual friend's number, and she gave him his own number by mistake. So far, so normal. You'd think Martin would have recognized his own number and even realized the area when he tried to call it. Nope. Every time he tried to call a number, it would get beep and send him a message saying he had a missed call. He texts the number again and again to let his friend know he was trying to call him and demanding, "Stop phoning me, I'm phoning you," only to receive the same message back. The argument lasted more than 5 minutes with himself. "I'm phoning you, mate. You missed the call." When he woke up the next morning, Martin discovered a load of calls and text messages. Obviously, his friends found this hilarious when they shared the anecdote. Boy, some people find the littlest things so fun. And here I covered your face the whole time.
He likes to cover my face.
I guess the world is becoming a cowbell ringing experience for a lot of people.
Yes.
Okay. More cowbells per minute than any other chat show in the universe. And Master Meatball has the origins of ISIS. Was this the summer camp that Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton sponsored when they were... Oh yeah, I play this every night, Mr. Master Meatball. It's a very good, the Truth in Media version of Origin of ISIS. That's a really good video. Yeah, we play that as a rule when discussing war. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Add it to my war list. Okay, so this is what 24 gigabytes of RAM, an i7 processor gets you. A chance to have 42 browsers open.
Unbelievable.
And still do a show.
Easy.
It's amazing. A strange baby face popping up around Denver. Uh-oh. Could be Kildare. Baby Kildare. In World War II, Kildare was a favorite expression written on all of the walls of every area that was occupied by our forces. No one ever could find out who Kildare was.
I agree, Mad Dog.
These are baby faces popping up around Denver. Okay. So much for opening up 24 things with 80 gigabytes of download. 80 megabyte per second download speeds. I think they've been compromised. Dr. Kildare.
Have you seen these for
You're
months?
right. It was
These
Kilroy.
little doll
That is
faces
correct. Hang
have been
on.
turning heads
I
all
stand
over
corrected.
Denver. Many people have shared photos and locations of the.
The answer is Kilroy. I was incorrect. Thank you, old Irish rep. Kilroy was here. I was thinking of Dr. Kildare. Yes, thank you. Ah, you got me. That was a good one. Here we go.
Faces online, but there still appear to be many more questions than answers.
Fox 31 Denver's Kent are all out tonight to find out some of the faces and get some answers for us. And Kent, is this some kind of publicity stunt?
Well, we don't think it's a publicity stunt because the artist doesn't appear to want any publicity. And let me show you something. Here's one good reason why. At this point, these have been up for months, and a lot of them have been knocked down or dismantled in some ways. Yet, even though we think we know who the artist is, they don't want to be recognized. Call it guerrilla art with a baby face.
That's nice. Okay. I guess that was kind of a story. I can't get over that was a story, but I was...
Well, when they're pushing for local news in the local area and they can't find anything local,
why don't they just...
something that they have up there.
Yeah. Reading out of the... this movie, Vaxxed, is really a huge controversy. It was going to be playing at the Tribeca Film Festival, Robert De Niro's little gig that he has, and De Niro pulled the plug on the movie Vaxxed, and the ABC News interview that followed was censored as well. Luckily for us, tonight after 9 o'clock, we'll play you the actual...
It says it was now censored by Robert De Niro at
Yeah.
the Tribeca Film Festival.
Yeah, it was censored. De Niro's, he
It's
caved
not
in.
It's not...
Well, he caved into the pressure
But
from
who
Big
said
Pharma.
it? Okay.
Big Pharma doesn't want vaccines to be considered dangerous, especially if they could lie about the results. Okay. Elderly man called 911 because he was hungry, so these cops did something unexpected. Hey, Mozart. What's up? A 79-year-old man called dispatchers because he hadn't eaten in 2 days and needed help, so these officers used their own money to stock his pantry for months, and then launched a food pantry at the police station to help citizens in a similar situation. Well, how about that? A really good, feel-good story from the law enforcement. WKRN News suggested that this is the group of stations officers showed up at the hungry man's door with several bags
For
full
us
of
to see
groceries.
as police officers, we're out here to take care.
Okay. Well, they praised him and praised them all, yeah.
Care of the public at large.
Thank you.
And that doesn't always mean us stopping a car.
Yeah,
sometimes it's us doing
helping
things
people.
like this.
That's what we need,
Police
more of,
officers
cops
being
helping
praised
people.
for going out of their way.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Samantha Fisher.
Hi there, I'm Eric Egan. Coming up, we have stories out of downtown Nashville and Gallatin, but right now, our top story.
Yeah, when police in Mount Pleasant got a call from a man saying he hadn't eaten in days. Well, officers went to the store and they spent their own money to fill up his pantry.
In tonight's top story, News 2's Lori Mitchell introduces
nice.
us to the officers behind this selfless act.
It's the picture of a good deed in Mount Pleasant, Tennessee that's now been seen by people across the country. It all started with a phone call to the police department Saturday from a 79-year-old disabled man who said he didn't have any food and had not eaten in 2 days. A group of officers on duty at the time jumped into action.
We all went to the grocery store and we loaded up on groceries. I think it ended up totaling between four of us about $160 worth of groceries.
After stocking up, the officers took the groceries to the man's home and filled up his pantry with enough food to last him for a month.
That's when Department of Health and Human Services stepped in and told the man he couldn't actually eat the food until he worked 20 hours in a local area. Well, that was quite a story, yeah. So they put the man to work, and once he worked off his 20 hours, he got a chance to eat something. I can't believe, no, I'm kidding. I can't believe that they're going to make everybody who collects food stamps work. It's like ridiculous. Anyone aged 18 to 46 will have to work to get their food stamps. Okay, Pentagon says it's not building Terminator-style killer robots yet. Wow. We've been talking about the dangers of cybernetic organisms. You know, at times I pretend like I'm a cybernetic organism, and And Sarah acts like, you're a cybernetic organism. You're like a wooden Indian, Dave. Stop behaving like a cybernetic organism. It's not very sexy. Robotic systems and unmanned vehicles are playing an ever-important growing role in the U.S. military. Yeah, of course, they just want to dominate with Terminator-style cyber war devices. But a top Pentagon official on Wednesday gave a tantalizing peek into several projects that not long ago were the stuff of science fiction, including missile-dodging satellites, self-flying F-16 fighters, and robot naval fleets. Not to mention drones that spew chemtrails above your head. Oh, come on. Yeah, there's nothing worse in the bedroom than acting like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
That's pretty funny.
Especially when a person turns to their lover and says, "Ah, Mildred, oh, I'm sorry, you're not Mildred.
Whoever you are.
Whoever you are, you're not Mildred. And where's my love child?"
It's pretty funny.
Okay, well, this is really exciting news.
I know, I should be more excited.
No, I'm getting ready to leave for another break, but I just wanted to follow up on that story with vaccinations, and I just want to mention this. This story came into the show last night. Nearly half of the Great Barrier Reef is going to die in the next month.
Exciting. No, I'm sorry.
Exciting stuff, folks. Half of the Barrier Reef, because of the warming oceans, due to the radiation leak that the government refuses to acknowledge out of Fukushima. They're claiming global climate change, which just, that's BS. Radiation warms the waters.
I would show that, but David's showing this one, Mad Dog.
I'll let you take care of it. You can handle it. Here's a great one, Just Serve. Okay, if you want to help your fellow man, here's a great site. Yeah, check this out. JustServe.com, where you can make your own ice cream cone. Is it like a self-serve ice cream cone site or something?
Soft serve?
Soft serve ice cream. Is that what that is? Well, their servers are not working too well. They're taking forever to download. Just Serve is not in any... Oh, there it is. Okay, so building unity through community service. There you go. That's a cool site. Yeah, justserve.org. Help your fellow man.
That's one of the things is that actually they can qualify for food stamps if they do a certain number of community service hours.
I know. It makes sense up to a point, but again, denying people food, I just want to make sure our food banks are replete with food.
Yeah, you can do that.
There's a 6.0 near the south coast of western Honshu in Japan.
I like what they do in the south end here. They actually have a garden for their food bank, so they actually grow food. I mean, that's where food comes from, to go and grow it in order to stock it for the food bank.
That would be good, yeah. Okay, many miles south of Fukushima, south of Tokyo, in an area of Japan, there has been a 6.0 earthquake, and they can really feel the earthquake in Japan. Japan is like steeples. It's like the tip of a steeple in the middle of the ocean. And it's amazing. I mean, these are almost like rods coming out of the ground in the Mariana Trench. It's just amazing how Japan really is so earthquake prone that they run drills all the time in anticipation of a major catastrophe. But to build 51 nuclear reactors on a country that is so earthquake prone, General Electric must have had one hell of a sales team out there in the 1940s and 50s, because it's just amazing how many reactors. And I believe they're still in mothballs because they just don't trust the radiation at this point. And I don't know, Shinzo Abe has considered reactivating some of the reactors, and it's receiving mixed results politically in Japan. Okay, I'll be back. But remember, you're being watched by over 100,000 people in Japan right now.
Thank you for watching, and sure.
You are.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't believe it.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry that if you had that earthquake, and I hope that everything is well for you. I hope no one was hurt in the earthquake. Maybe I should check the other news and see if there's anyone. Hopefully no one was hurt in the earthquake. Just for a little bit. Maybe about 5 minutes, Bad Dog. We'll see. Sure, Grizzly Ray, I don't have a problem with it. I mean, I know a lot of people do, because then there's more morality issues. Okay. That hasn't hit the news yet about the Japanese earthquake. Yeah. Well, good. Yeah, but I don't have a problem with it, Grizzly Ray. I know it's already legalized in some states, so I should defer to, I think it's a state issue. So Virginia state trooper was killed in a bus station shooting. Police secured the scene of a shooting at a Greyhound bus station in Richmond, Virginia. All right. Captain Howdy, please stop promoting your private whatever it is. Thank you. I know you're like, hey, I'm working on my, I think you're working on like an advertisement brochure or something. I don't know. Have you thought of if they don't have any clients, like going out and flicking those cards like they do in Las Vegas? That's very sad. The brothels down in Las Vegas, it just gets sad. I've never frequented one, but I've heard about them. So the FBI is testing their ability to unlock more versions of the iPhone. They used one version to crack the terrorist iPhone to see how many other versions of the device it could open. All right. There's a New York budget to deal with a higher minimum wage. And the police union defends hiring the officer that has been charged in Laquan McDonald's death in Chicago. Hi, Laura, how are you? No, Captain Howdy, hasn't happened. Have a wonderful night, Heaven Sent. Hello, James Damon. You're interested in Captain Howdy and what he's selling, I guess. Okay. Hamilton's. Bill Clinton is making a big play for the union vote. And Steve Wynn's ex-wife has filed for control of stock. All right. I guess I'm not really that interested in business, as they say. So there was a collapse of a flyover under construction in the city of Kolkata, killed 23 people in India. Wow. NATO and the United States are switching their defense doctrine from assurance to deterrence in Eastern Europe in response to a resurgent and aggressive Russia, a U.S. general said Thursday. They want to have Sharia law in Somalia. I'm glad I don't live down there. If you ran a country in the world, it would look like that. It just doesn't look good. All right. A man consumed and overcame his diabetes without medicine. Interesting, Earth Sky. Interesting. As Master Meatball says, I need to enunciate my words more. All right. An infant boy was found after being abducted from a Philadelphia area mall. Wow. A woman released an image and then they found the baby. I'm glad they found him. You want Kanye to bust to get you into a fashion show? You live in Illinois and you want to get into a fashion show in what, New York or something like that? And you can't buy a ticket? All right. I'll look at it, Mad Dog. I don't have a lot of time, but I'll look at it. Yeah, okay. 50 volunteers needed to this is all so their middle school needs so much help that they're asking for it on this justserve.org site. That's a working with children. Okay, interesting. Any tutors for homeless kids in your area? That's good. Are you gonna do that, Mad Dog? Yeah, it is illegal in most places. You are nice. Very good. If you need any help, I would definitely recommend Khan Academy. If you're able to get to a place that has Wi-Fi that you can help them at, that's the difficulty. But also you could print out some worksheets to help them, so that's good. Sounds nice. I just actually watched a pretty inspiring show. It was, I don't even know the name of it. But it was about a guy who opened up a chess club for students. But it kind of was a roundabout way that he ended up doing that. But he opened up a chess club for kids in the inner city to help them, which was very good. Wow. All right, but yeah, that is interesting about that JustServe site. What JustServe is all about, so you can just type in, I could type in my zip code and find opportunities. That's interesting. All right, I'm gonna remove this. There we go. Where is all of these pictures? David has so much stuff open. Can't get rid of it. There we go. Finally! Yeah. Good night, Mad Dog. Love you too. Hope you have a good night. Oh, join your neighbors to help clean up a street. Yeah, all those are pretty far away from me. Sounds like those people over there are pretty interesting. They're doing the Habitat for Humanity and like that. They probably get a lot of people over there. All right. I can't imagine doing that. Well, I don't drink, so. I'll give you a handshake. Let's start with that, David Nation. All right. Yeah, that's true. I mean, maybe it's easy for me to say I don't mind legalizing it because I don't plan on having children, GT Laura. But, and then again, I wouldn't be one of those people either. So, I don't know.
Okay, when we were into the convention recently and looked at stuff.
Yep.
And coming up in April, sometime in April, I'm going to be getting a birthday.
Right.
And I have found, I think, what I want for my birthday. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
But
that sounds good. I actually want to get that now.
Yeah. This product, I'm going to give you guys a link to it, but yeah.
I order it right now.
You might as well. What's the site's name is, let me pull it up.
IPEVO.
This is the coolest little thing I've ever seen.
HD Plus.
Yeah. We found this camera that hovers over your documents, and it's as good as a scanner. The resolution was blowing me away, the quality of the camera, and it's only $99. And it's designed for schools, so that teachers can look at books and show the overhead. It plugs right into a computer, but you can also, obviously take camera pictures off of it.
It's no secret that technology in the classroom has much to do with student success.
I gave up the idea of, let me show it to you. Is it the HD wireless document camera? Ziggy HD?
Yeah, or HD Plus.
Oh, it's the HD Plus. Here it is. Yeah, they've got another one, but I think this is the one that he said was the best one. It's lightweight, and it's really incredible that they've got this technology. It was crystal clear when I saw him use it. And I've got a lot of old magazines and things that I want to photograph and create a picture library. And I've always, wondered how can I do this without wrecking the old magazines, because if you put them in a scanner, they rip them up, and it's just really tough on the. Finally, this product is available, and it stands right above your item if you want to photograph something. And this could be anything. You could be photographing, your crafts show online. You could be doing like close-up work with crafts and be running a YouTube show. And it does really high quality, high resolution. Education's premier document camera. I think I want it. It's $99. I'll give you guys the link to check it out, but it was one of the most amazing deals that I saw on the internet. And we had to go to a convention to see it. Sorry, that's the wrong link. That's the ultrasonic knife. But there it is. Check it out. It's portable, yeah. It's not potable, but it's portable. I think it's better than a scanner, yeah. Because a scanner, it takes longer to take the picture. You have to wait for the scanner to warm up and, the whole thing. And this thing just snaps a picture, incredible, hovers over a document so it doesn't have to get in your way. And I think that's what I want for my birthday. Sometime in April. Captain Howdy, you've hit the bottle. Okay. And Scro, you're so drunk, David hugs.
Resolution goes up to
3,000.
264 by 2448.
This is your resolution on your document camera. I don't know any document camera that can do that for $99. So No, you cannot come to my house on a birthday. No. Thank you. I provide the pictures of the ladies here. Are you some sort of a porn provider, Captain Howdy? That's a little weird, don't you think? Yeah. Nope. You don't have control over me. You cannot control me. I am of a superior design.
You are obviously of a very primitive design.
Silence, you ninny. Here's Cathode by Scissor Fight. Got some music that Scissor Fight makes that we really like. Kind of spice up our show a little bit. Okay. Does it have a microphone in this one? The ones that have microphones in them are good. The document camera, this one has a microphone in it. In the education document camera, there's a couple ones. I'm just wondering if it has a microphone in it. Perfect. Yeah, because I want to take high-resolution pictures of these old documents that I have, and I want to do a little voiceover over it so I can talk about it. It's funny how you go through history and so much of it's lost, you know, and it's all right there, and nobody cares about it. So I want to kind of bring history to life. This is the camera, the technology I'm going to use to make it happen. We have been embracing technology for the past 15 years. Sarah and I have been on a technological learning curve, as I'm sure all of you have been on too. But it's something you have to stay on the bike if you want to keep learning to ride. You know, it's not like if you learn to ride a bicycle, you know it forever. You need to stay on top of that technology and keeping your knowledge base up to snuff, up to date. All right. We'll get into the political aspect of the show in just a couple minutes. I'm going to wrap up exactly what we've done tonight. We talked about a technology last week that was really kind of flooding the market. It's this portable gun. It's a 38 caliber gun that looks like a cell phone. Sarah's done for the evening. Thank you, Stu. Yeah, the HD cam is good. This is quite the rage. A portable gun. People don't know what they're going to do with it, but it's called Ideal Conceal is the company name, and it looks like a cell phone breaks down into an actual gun. Let's take a look at this. Pretty sci-fi music here. That's me singing in the background. Isn't that great? Spigen. So in a world that wants to demilitarize and gun control being pushed by the Democrats, by a lot of Democrats, I'll try to keep the guest chat on. Okay, I will. Thanks, Jojo. Yeah, but the Democrats want to spin everything, gun control this, gun control that. We've actually had, yeah, it's a good idea, huh, Earth Sky? We've got a lot of people who just don't get it. The American people have literally been raised on our freedom and individuality. And most of all, the Second Amendment in our Constitution was written in order to preserve our rights to defend ourselves against criminals, against home invasion, and even against a tyrannical government. So the gun is just as important in America as our three branches of government. The check and balance system, and it goes all the way down to the individual. And the last thing we want are Democrats who think they're socialists, like Bernie, who think they can dictate over the individual with this notion of what they think the collective is. I think it has zoomability, yeah. Let's check the link. Oh, you can check the link yourself. You don't have any balls? I'm sorry. Were you castrated as a young man? Or maybe they didn't descend. Well, I was quite shocked at the price. So, I mean, the price point was like, whoa.
It's no secret that technology in the classroom has much to do with student success. Because of this,
he recommended the $99 one. Captain Howdy, you know, you're very derogatory. Like I said, this is it for you. Yeah. That's just, you're just denying my obvious masculine superiority. Many of you are living in some sort of a Many of you are living in some sort of a delusion that you're superior to everyone else. That is called an inferiority complex. Yes. You're suffering from an inferiority complex. That's why you think you're like super, really, superior to everybody, dude. Yeah, that's just your own mind playing tricks on you. I'm very tolerant. Yeah, I believe in tolerance. The only thing I don't tolerate are people that don't tolerate other people. Yes, David Nation, I drove right by the Twin Towers and building number 7 5 days before it collapsed. Sarah and I could have been in the collapse during that time. I mean, we could have waited to leave the East Coast. We were on a road trip. Road trip! I don't think I'm superior. I know I'm superior. Yeah, that's not an inferiority complex. That's proven, tested superiority. Yeah. When you're born this way, you just know you're superior. Well, I kept guests out because I didn't want anyone to think that they can, crap all over the room. But I mean, it doesn't suck. I've got a lot of viewers. People like to watch our show. I don't think it sucks at all, but I'll let guest chat come in. The name of that song that we were just playing was called Play It Again, Sam. It's called Cathode by Scissor Fight. And it's on the Scissor Fight library. If you go to coolrock.com, I believe you can find it there. On the right-hand side. No, man, my viewer count is like through the roof. I've got over 100,000 viewers in Japan right now. Thank you very much for watching. And we'll play other good music for you tonight. Yeah. It's all good, man. Everything's good. It's all good. Happy day. Don't worry, be happy. So let's play some songs, something else that might capture your mind. He's got a library of really good music that he's put together on the side. He's an excellent audio editor. Come on now. This was good. Let's go. Come on. Now I have hundreds of thousands of viewers. We're the #1 network in Japan. They like the dance routine. But they're also expecting blackface any minute now. So without a little blackface, we really can't appease our friends in Japan. They understand why I had to impersonate the worst president in our history. It was not too complex for the Japanese people to understand my need to impersonate Barack Obama in the previous elections. Yeah, it has to happen sometimes.
I am Bill Hicks.
Come on now. There we go. All done. Wasn't that easy? That was the simplest thing. Now I want to show you my new invention, the blimp plane. And we have also discussing ways of improving the development of new innovations in America. We don't want to forget our rollout carpet-like solar panels too. Guess who's building this? The U.S. military. So there's a lot of future things that are coming, and we're going to be putting these on top of rooftops around the country. Okay, Captain Howdy, that's it for you. Good night. Yeah, Captain Howdy doesn't understand what's happening. Yeah, you've had ample warnings, but you're finally on the ban list. It took a while. Yeah, so many people don't realize that we can grow from a very small position here in America by having people from around the world talk about us. And even though we're getting censored heavily by the current U.S. media, we're still receiving a lot of attention from outside of the country. So, yeah, one of the reasons why I had to trim a guest chat is they were saying some pretty bad things about me, and there's absolutely no reason why anyone would do that other than jealousy. So I assumed that the only thing that was necessary was for me to actually break into, a new modality and encourage people to become users on this network. Here's a good song, Substar. Howdy doody. Yeah. I don't think Howdy knew Mel Gibson. People like that normally don't know anybody. The Modest Mouse. Float on. I'm afraid I can't play that. It's got copyright violation all over it. I am relatively hurt by your statement, so Captain Howdy couldn't take no for an answer, so I had to purge him when he came back. But this blimp plane idea actually could generate a tremendous amount of capital for the American airlines that normally would sell this product. They'd want to get rid of it. And instead, they would put it to use. Well, I ban everybody as soon as I can, We also unban all at a certain point in our show. We go through cycles. Yeah, but it's not something that I'm, planning on doing all night long. Okay, so down here is where we really stand out above all. We don't want to have fluoride in our water system. I'm getting these glitches on the screen. I don't know why. We don't want to have fluoride in our water system. We want to build that lethal electric fence along the southern border. We want to legalize marijuana. There are things that make us stand out over the other two parties in many different areas. Okay, I'll click that Brussels link in just a bit, Scissor Fight. Thank you. Yeah, they could recycle their old planes. Thank you. Bolivian's Blaze came up with the answer. That's right. So in no way does this put anything to waste. This always uses something well into the future, and we can strap on these blimp packs to these planes and put them up in there, maybe get 300 miles per hour speeds out of these things, running them with dampeners and limiters on their speed, keeping the jets to a minimum so there's not a lot of stress fractures in the plane. I'm tired of egomaniacs running for president too. Yeah, I know. Me too. That's why I would be the best person to run for president, because I'm not invested. I don't really care what happens here. Yeah, I'm not in this for my ego or self-aggrandizement or to be special. I'm in it because I really seriously believe these ideas will help the country. I wouldn't be running if I wasn't serious about these ideas that I'm talking about right here. So if you don't understand the reason why people like me run, keep getting this glitch. I don't know what it is. It's like a flash. Huh. I don't know. Strange. I'm not a mean guy. I mean, I'm really, a very easygoing person and willing to compromise. And people confuse my kindness with weakness. Oftentimes people who are greedy pigs who have no idea what kindness is misperceive what we are, what people who are kind are. But I'm a kind person. I have a pretty soft exterior, but deep down I'm pretty tough. And I'm not going to sit back and watch our country slip into a hole because of the stupidity and inanity of a bunch of airhead imbeciles, corporate giants who think they're so special they can steal my ideas like you know who. We're not talking about Bob right now. You're starting to piss me off. I'm not crying about guests at all. You've got to understand, I can only limit you to a certain amount of time in here if all you're going to do is come in and rag on me and then promote Trump or Bernie or whatever mindless idiot's running for president. Or Lady Gaga. Yeah, exactly. Goo Goo Gaga. Have you Googled Gaga? No, my feelings aren't hurt. I can't run a show without constantly having to purge everything you're saying. So it really becomes an abstraction from what we're doing. I mean, you can see that, can't you? So get with the program, guests. Thank you. The dreaded coffee scum. Lady Gaga is not here to run for president. It's not a comedy show. You keep denigrating this. I'm bringing people in and talking about politics on a nightly basis. If you haven't listened, we've got a plan to actually expose issues that are not talked about in the two-party system. We've got a website, AmericasThirdParty.com. I never desecrated the name of Jesus. Never. I merely said that he walked the face of the earth 2,000 years ago with a similar cane. What's that? That's weird. It's the mark of Jesus. No, I'm not desecrating the Lord. I'm merely talking about how we need a good steward of this planet right now. We don't have it. I've come to you to guide the country toward a better place. I'm not trying to freak you out. I'm not a cult leader. I'm just trying to give you some solid advice. Get your act together. And I said earlier that if Jesus returned and the second coming of Jesus, he would be locked up on a 5150. I'm not Jesus. No, don't get me wrong. But anybody who contends that they're Jesus will be locked up on a 5150. If you walked up to a local police officer and said, I am Jesus, and I'm not Jesus, you would automatically be taken in. Yeah. And you couldn't find one of these staffs if you tried. You look all around the country, you won't find one of these shepherd staffs. They are very rare. I have opened my brain. I'm the one who's thinking clearly. I am super sane. I'm the guy trying to lead you guys out of the confusion of the darkness toward a light. I'm the bright light of hope for America. You are living on your mother's $20 bill that you just snorted up your nose, wondering if there's some more Dorito chips in the cabinet because nobody went to the market today. You don't think I understand what's going on in your life? I understand what's happening with you. I really am a genius, yeah. Test me. Run some questions by me, and I'll answer it in concise, contrite manner. Let's party. I am not gay. That did not take intelligence to answer that. See, that's all you can think of. That's the only question this guest had is, are you gay? You see what I'm dealing with, folks? Now it's time for the cowbell. It's unbelievable. You can't even ask a question because you can't even articulate a question. That's how out of it you are. Meth and Doritos, I know. I don't answer questions about camels. There was no accurate count of camels in the 1990s due to the lack of satellite reconnaissance of thermographic imaging. There is, however, a livestock count today, and it's accessed on the World Geospatial Reckoning System at NASA. Do you think you're in of it? You're delusional. See, that's what I'm saying. They can't even look at this. Case in point. You're watching a complete retarded person who is probably on methamphetamines, right in chat. You're about to witness the chat dialogue of one said guest, guest 949-363-6856. Consider it for your approval. Do you think you're in of it? Do you think you're in of it? You've just entered the third party zone. A strange and bizarre place where people who have no brains actually think they do. It's an unusual place which only people like trolls occupy. This is why I am not currently allowing guest chat on a normal basis. How do we stop pet crap in the water system? Too many pet owners. Okay, the water system is not contaminated with pet crap. Despite what your local health department has said, your sewer pipes in most areas are below your water pipes. However, in my area, my water pipes are below my sewer pipes, so you're right. I could get fecal contamination from dog dew in my water system. Good chow, expired free food from garbage can. Okay, new technology bringing garbage to you at the dinner table. I give you the YouTube video that all of you have been waiting for. Good chow, expired free food from Garbage Friend, French supermarket. Check this out. Bonjour. I would like to break into your dumpster and dance from your
what they throw away
from your dumpster. Hello. I think he got caught in the fence there. Let's take a look. We don't know. It could be downloading issues. Contacting video supplier. We'll get back to that as soon as it queues up. In the meantime, we are now in the extended chat mode, in which I respond to chat questions in real time, providing Cowbell is playing. Well, frankly, 949, I can handle anything coming out of your mouth. Yeah, you've got a garbage can in your mouth that just diffuses from your chat. Yeah, you got nothing in your brain, man, except meth. Your mom should know she's missing $20 bills. All right. When the bald eagle was first named, what was the meaning of the word? Meaning of the word bald eagle. I don't know. You got me. What do you think about recycling scams? I think they're pretty screwed up. You know, there's cathode ray tubes that are out there sitting in shelves because somebody gets a kickback from the government to have cathode ray tube TVs sitting around. They're not really drawing any of the elements out of them. They're just piling up in a massive landfill. Almost did. You have a basement? No, you can't live in my basement. Are you bisexual? That's not an appropriate question, but no, I'm not. Any other questions? Well, you got some really good, tough political questions tonight. I've got another 20 minutes to answer them. Are you bisexual? Oh, the Latin baldus meaning white. Oh, I didn't know you were going to the Latin root derivative of the word. I thought you meant, what does a bald eagle mean? In Native American history, it means great spirit over yonder, to land beyond. Me, Kimosabi. You have Native American in you? I'd like a little bit, just a teeny bit. Again, you resort to cheap sex talk, a sign of a lack of intelligence. Well, pets are not going to pay taxes, and you shouldn't either, unless you're a pet. Are you a pet? You know, when you think about it, are humans pets? Because they're treating us like insects flying over our head with chemicals. What kind of fence? Electric fence. Lethal electric fence. We want to build in the southern border. Thanks for asking. Yeah. We also believe that these planes can have parachutes, kind of like this unit right here. This is an artistic representation of what a plane looks like when it has some sort of a carriage that could land to the ground. Now, those 62 people that died in Russia last week, they didn't have to die. They could have been saved. Had our leaders put solutions like this in place, they would never have died. So let's be clear. We've got a lot of freeloaders in government. We've got a lot of corporate welfare people trying to take our money. And granted, Barack Obama didn't do a lot over the past 7 years. But if I talk just like him and not read off a teleprompter, we might make some progress. So let's do this real time. Let's put the teleprompter away. What percentage of the world's food crops are pollinated by insects? You know, I would say about 86%. In that almost 97.2% of all statistics are made up on the spot. I'd say 86%. How many Mexicans can a giant Venus... You know, that's ridiculous. There is no such thing as a giant Venus flytrap. But good questions. You guys are really rocking. You deserve another round of music. Let's try this other one. Breaker, breaker, 19er.
Gee, baby. Gee.
Gee, baby. We're rocking now. Welcome to Tech Thursday.
ATP, America's Third Party. David Sponheim. For President.
So let's be clear.
ATP, America's Third Party. David Sponheim. For President.
That was it. All right. Thank you very much for coming into our show. We have 15 more minutes of fielding questions. Feel free to come right in and ask away. Do you worry about getting a job or career? Can I help you with there? That idea is a really good concept. Maybe finding something you enjoy doing. Maybe you like to do some landscaping and work at our national composting plant. We'll be doing landscaping. We'll be doing fertilizing. We'll be melting down cannabis and hemp, making hempoline, green diesel. I'm not suffering from any mental illness whatsoever. I am completely happy in my life and very well adjusted. And so much so that it's not ending early. I usually extend out about 9:30 on an average basis. This is not a bowl cut. This is my hair. I kind of like it, so you'll have to live with it. It's not a wig. It's my hair. That's actually my hair. I know. You didn't know that, did you? So what do we offer you as a write-in candidate? Well, unlike any candidate out there, I've got a great plan for America. Well, the extended shows were tough the past couple days because I really wanted to spend some quality time with Sarah. And this is a big, huge process of building a political movement. It takes a lot of time. But time is on our side. NASA getting destroyed again. Very disturbing, embarrassing. NASA, short for never a straight answer. No, I give her more quality time in the evening. I don't want to leave her alone, you know, even though she wants to have private time watching her shows. I like to be with her, you know, because we only get a couple hours a night to be with each other, and then I share a lot of that with you. You know, it's kind of unfair to her, but she likes her quiet time, you know, doing her TV show. So that looks like a good video, a 16-minute video. We'll play that tonight.
A little bit about your opinion of propaganda films and things like that.
A Virginia trooper has been killed in a shooting at a Greyhound bus station in Richmond, Virginia.
Well,
he was on a training exercise for a criminal interdiction squad. But they just began to question opening fire.
Since the government, our corrupt government, essentially controls the media, it's no problem for them to produce propaganda films. For example, for many years, John Wayne was presented as a hero, as a CB.
Okay, that's a good one. And lining up other things. Your bedtime, yeah, I hear you. Well, sleep well, you know. Get some good night's rest. You got to enjoy yourself. If you don't, you know, life will pass you by. Yeah, I was very lucky to have acquired enough assets in life when I worked for years and saved every penny, because I had to do some cost-saving things as a young man. My dad had a heart attack at the age of 25. I was 25 when he had a heart attack at the age of 60. So I was able to save a lot of money as a young man working, and in the process I was able to retire early at 50. So if you can pull that off, even if you're living with your mom and dad, believe me, you'll be way ahead of the game. You won't have $200,000 in student loans. Yeah, and plus you'll know that your parents really appreciate you because you'll be taking care of them. That's part of the duty. You know, you can't exactly get away with not taking care of your parents. Somebody in your family is going to be left with that duty. In my family, I was the only one. That was the reality. I'm going to now look up Project Pat. Pat? Is that like the Saturday Night Live Pat? Project Pat. Thank you for playing You Can't Play, You Can't Stop. Play Stop. Can't Stop. Play. Play Stop Can't. Can't Stop Play. You can't stop because we won't stop. We have to stop play. Okay, let's play it.
We can't stop and we won't stop. We're gonna
we have more Can't Stop.
Bring it on to the sunlight. We can't stop. We can't stop. We can't
Yo, this is Project Pat.
Alright? We can't stop and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night. Bring it on to the sunlight.
He's an American originating from Memphis, Tennessee. Yeah. This is Project Pat.
So let's get
in this coming election year.
That's what Project Pat is. Thank you for letting me look it up. Won't you be my neighbor? Hey, neighbor.
For president.
right, we discussed some pretty good technology tonight. Had a lot of fun. We'll line up the videos for our evening of video chat, interactive, transparent, and real time. Yeah.
We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. We can't stop, we can't stop, we can't stop, we can't stop.
In this coming election.
So modern innovation will drive forth and get our country to get back on track. We just got to get Americans back on track of building things, using our minds. I give you the Blue Dome Project. Russell's Mummy Moron and his amazing recovery. Okay, we got another good. You got a lot of good links tonight. Thank you. I took care of my dad and mom. Yeah, you bet. And if you don't do the right thing with your mom and dad, and this is something that I think a lot of you have to realize, family is the knit, the glue that keeps our country together. It is not in any way the opposite. We're not going to get any benefit from some UN takeover or some global world authority. If we have each other and we believe in family, I believe that this is the unity factor that is missing right now in our country. We have to get back to that. So by the way, I support a 4-day work week so that many of you can spend more time with your mommy. Instead of stealing $20 purses from her, $20 bills from her purse, you'll get a chance to actually meet your mom again and get to know her as a person instead of being a scumbag drug addict living off your mom. All right? So we support a 4-day work week too here. And I'm not here to turn you guys into wage slaves. So you may have me confused with Bernie Sanders because he wants to give you free money. I don't want you to get free money. I do want you to work. I understand the food stamp solution for working, but I don't want you to have to suffer either. I want everyone to have a basic. We call it baseline plus. And we want people to have baseline support first and foremost, and in no way extra perks unless you're willing to work for it. That's the plus. That's the part that's plus. Baseline plus is our concept in our book we talk about. My brain is firing at 100%. You know, I've already impressed a lot of people around the world by dancing on the show. So I believe doing anything I can to mix the show up is really kind of cool. It is kind of funny and ha-ha comedy, but it's also a political show. I'm not a comedian. I'm what is called a humorist. And I try to bring relevant topics together and knit them together into a cohesive mix we call America's Third Party. We are trying to push a lethal electric fence. I've been doing this for 7-8 years. Trump borrowed the idea. We want to legalize weed. No other presidential candidate wants to do that for recreational weed. Bernie wants medical marijuana because he just found out that some of the ladies at the residence like to smoke a little marijuana. You know, he went traveling, I'm sure, looking for votes in the Catskills, and somebody said, "Bernie, you ought to try a doobie." And Bernie was going, well, what's this doobie I'm hearing about? Let me put my Bernie glasses on here. I want to help every one of you. How can I help you? So then he realized after 8 years, he's going to give legalization a chance. I mean, really? I mean, come on. It took him that long to come up with a legalization campaign? Well, this is Bernie in real glory right here. Check him out. This is your Bernie Sanders you socialists want to put in charge of our great nation. This virtual money-grabbing socialist is driving a $175,000 Audi R8 sports car. Okay? $175,000. Are you with me? I'm not jealous. I'm calling him what it is, a spade a spade. This guy is a money-grubbing socialist, and you need to realize that. And if you don't get that simple reality, folks, you're missing the whole point. You're missing the whole entire point. Yeah, let me show you what I'm driving. as a comparison to what Bernie's driving, I'm driving no more than a $25,000 car, which I paid $7,500 for. And it's called a Honda Insight. It's a 15-year-old car, and it's cool, but in no way is it a $175,000 Audi R8. Okay, that's my car. I'm a humble person. I don't need to drive around in a flashy sports car. So whatever Bernie's got going, it's called deception, folks. And if you don't realize that, you don't understand this deception that the socialist plan is all about. It will tax the hell out of the American people. 15 trillion is not going to come easy. It'll destroy our economy and send us into a tailspin. Bernie is incompetent, and he never did anything for his state of Vermont either. In 7 years, he hasn't accomplished anything. So how can Bernie save the day, folks? You Democrats need to realistically look at a person who was a Democrat who's willing to share my ideas with the right and the fiscal conservatives from the Tea Party. We can come together. Come together right now over me. So that's what I'm shooting for. I'm shooting for you understanding the lies. Where's my Bubbles glasses? Yeah, let me get them. I've got a collection of glasses for every occasion. I'm driving the coolest car in town. And I'm not afraid to admit I'm a little bit frugal. Yeah, this is my Mr. Peabody impersonation. So, Rocky! Can you see my car again? Okay. You want to see Bernie's car or you want to see my car? Okay. There's the car we have. I bought Sarah one too. Tonight, I was coming back from the store. I went and did some shopping in town, and I'm making a left. And I normally don't see Sarah coming home at an early time, and she's following me in the same car I'm driving. You know, hers looks identical to this. I bought her this same car about 1.5 years, 2 years ago for her birthday. 1.5 years ago for her birthday, and I had this same car with the black racing stripes down the side and the bumper guard. It's pretty cool. My car looks much more interesting, I think. But yeah, there we are, driving down the road together. You know, living the kind of Bobsy twin life. But she really enjoys it too. She gets about 45 miles per gallon on her CVT transmission. Cars are being kept from us too. We're seeing a lot of vehicles not reaching the market when they should be. You know, we all know about cars in Germany that are getting 70 miles per gallon, diesels. They're being kept out of our market for a lot of reasons, mostly California air pollution standards. And that's something I'm going to prevent when I become president. We're going to nullify the CAFE standards affecting all automotive entrances into our country. And I'm going to personally write off the lawsuit that we currently have against Volkswagen. I want to have a good relationship with Volkswagen. I think they're making good cars. I think they got the bad rap recently on their air pollution standards. They made the standards so rigorous for Volkswagen to enter our market that they couldn't help but cheat a little bit. And you know, it really reeks of corporatism and greed for our government to literally pressure companies like Toyota, Honda, and Volkswagen, who are trying to enter our market with a good product and save us gas mileage. And it makes me sick to see these people at the transportation department use their power to manipulate trade and commerce with other countries. So I will be firing everybody at the U.S. Department of Transportation. We're going to be looking at a whole new crew. I cannot stand what I'm seeing in this nation, turning its back on opportunities to save money and offer a venue for other countries to sell their products here. It's really sickening. And you people are going to hate me because I'm going to give you opportunity and jobs and a career, whereas right now you're sitting there, like I said, stealing $20 bills from your mom and snorting meth. So you hate me. But when I get done, you guys will own your own house in 10 years. You'll have an amazing life that's more sustainable. And you'll look back on this time and say, wow, why didn't we get this guy in 2008? Why didn't we get him into the position where he needs to be in 2012? Why didn't we do anything to get him going in 2016? And you'll wonder why you passed up years of opportunity with a guy who has great ideas to save this nation. So I'd like to say goodnight for now, but we'll be back tomorrow with Freedom Friday, and we'll say hasta la vista, baby, for now. Thanks for coming in and enjoying our show. We are an interactive virtual chat show, and when you post links, sometimes I'll bring them in and I'll play them in the show even till 2 in the morning. All right? All right. Yeah, exactly. At least we have fun talking, don't we? Not many people can talk to themselves for 4 hours like I do. I think there's it's a kind of a skill.